Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
Talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Taberry here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah.
And then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only two guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Bo and the boys with you for the next three. Reese is here. Jacob is here. Pretty loaded up here, kids. We're going to move Hey Guys up. So Hey Guys hits at 10 o'clock. Get your Hey Guys questions into the fellas. We will get those at 10 o'clock. 10:30, we are debuting. It's a big moment for the show. A brand new Yellowstone National Park Bureau Chief. National parks are growing. We felt we needed to have boots on the ground, and we thought, why not go to the first national park to have that be your initial boots on the ground? So you have that to look forward to. That's coming up at 10:30, which is nice. 20 most interesting is the Georgia Dogs. John Michaels, 680, the score down in Atlanta. He's going to join at 11:30 on the Georgia side of things. And, of course, it is a First Friday, so we'll get you officially endorsed as well at the end of the program. Look, it's not for me anymore. My time has passed in terms of, and maybe it'll come back. You never know. Things come back. But the days of me following baseball on a regular basis, we do it tongue in cheek about how what sport is that and all of that. But at the same time, very very well aware. But it's not something that I consume daily anymore. It's a time. There was a time that I was. There was a time that I followed it daily, consumed it daily. Quite honestly, devoured it when I was young. But those times have passed. But I can also acknowledge that it feels like baseball's in a decent spot right now for where it is. It feels like it's found its niche. From America's pastime, well, it's not that anymore. There's America's passion, and that's football, NFL and college, and then baseball shifts down in there somewhere, picking up the scraps after that. But it does feel like they are doing some things right. From my perspective. Now, I'm not knee-deep in the muck. You guys watch a lot more baseball than I do, so you could tell me if I'm crazy about this stuff. But it feels like some of these things that Manfred has done are hitting. And it feels like he had a nice moment last night with this All-Star game. The way it started with the two pitchers, with Skeens, the Hank Aaron moment is... If that doesn't move you, then you're not movable. If that doesn't move you, so I thought that was awesome. And then they end the dang thing. Now I didn't stay up to watch it live. It's 4 hours into it, but a home run derby slug off feels like that was probably a win if you were watching in real time. Were either of you watching in real time when this was executed at the end of the game last night?
Not where they gave Kyle Schwarber 3 pitches. I'm not staying up for that. But the beginning and the pomp and circumstance and having 2 of your all-star pitchers, 2 kind of your bigger names in the sport, like Rob Manfred's gotten a lot of grief over the years, and I think deservedly so. And I said, the one thing he's done great for the game is sped things up.
Yeah.
I'll add this to that. I think when the new CBA came through in 2022 and it changed the all-star game format, you hadn't seen the extra innings. That worked last night. Just from reading and seeing everything this morning, everything that they did prior to the game, kind of the idea that you brought back teams' uniforms. So Kyle Schwarber's hitting 3 dingers in a Phillies uniform. All of that worked. So from an all-star game standpoint, I think they absolutely knocked it out of the park. Hopefully the ratings show that it was, that, because there wasn't anything else on to compete with.
No, and the Derby did well. The home run derby I saw did decent from a numbers standpoint, so that was positive. Jake, how far did you get into it?
I think I only caught a piece of it when I think Kershaw was on the mound, and then I kind of shut it off after that. I was doing some editing on a video I posted last night, and didn't really get to
was
lock in.
Focused on college basketball. Imagine that.
But no, I missed the beginning of that. I wanted to try to catch it, but I lost time, and then was out for the swing off. But can the home run derby take a page from that and implement it into their first round of the home run derby?
That might be
My goodness.
Too. Yeah. The brevity thing is always a win, I think, if you can get that done. I do think, though, what all of us just described here, this isn't a baseball problem. I think this is a professional sports problem, and that these all-star things, they're just not hitting anymore the way that they used to. There was a time that whether it was the Pro Bowl, the NBA All-Star Game, the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, there was a time where if you wanted to see a certain guy play, that was the only way you could do it. You could watch your team and you could watch like the game of the week, but you couldn't watch anything whenever you wanted. It wasn't on YouTube. You weren't able to pull up stats and highlights and all of this stuff. You were largely unaware of these guys. And this thing would show up in July, and you'd get to see what Bo Jackson looked like in a Royals uniform. And you could marvel at that. It was probably your only chance to see him. You just see crazy stuff too, like, for example, Randy Johnson pitching to John Kruk. Like, you get those type of things in it. You'd get a chance, for example, of Roger Clemens, who, when I was younger, was an American League pitcher going up against Tony Gwynn. And that wouldn't happen any other way. It would only happen in the All-Star game. And I think what they've done is everything is on demand now. And then obviously now that there really is no American or National League. They play by the same rules, and the schedule is they play each other all the time. So there isn't really anything special about American League versus National League. And I don't know if the greater good, does baseball benefit by having one rule through both leagues, by having a more balanced schedule, by having interleague play, by having all of that? Is that a net win at the net loss of the All-Star game? I don't know. I don't know if these changes. I heard Alex Rodriguez last night in the pregame saying Rod Manfred belongs in the Hall of Fame. He saved baseball. It seems bold.
That's a take.
It's like A-Rod's trying to get off of a list and get into the Hall of Fame to me. But like, in what way? And are these things that he's done, have these worked? Are these things working?
I think you'll have to wait, I think, for a couple more years. Baseball CBA's up next December, and Manfred's already out there talking to, not the union, he's talking to individual players. Like the biggest names in the sport, he's having individual meetings with to make sure that they can try to figure out or hammer or have those players put pressure on the Major League Baseball Players Association to avoid a lockout in December, or I guess would be in the 2027 season, excuse me. But I think everything that it's tough for me, because when you have not one but preside over a couple lockouts, did you really improve the sport?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the answer to it is. But I talked about this earlier in the week. Like, sometimes the nostalgia for me clouds things. Like, I look back on it and I go, I kind of like the idea of one league only playing each other and one league only playing each other, and then the champions of those two leagues meeting in the World Series. But I also remember the first time they did interleague play and saying, hey, this is pretty cool, man. It's not just Mets, Yankees, but it's kind of cool seeing Kansas City play St. Louis.
Well, at the time,
the Cubs
you had
play the White Sox.
If they were in the American League's home stadium, they had to have a DH. But if they were in the NL, you had to have the pitcher batting. I think this All-Star game used to be really something, and maybe one of the best of all major sports, when the winner of the All-Star game got to host the World Series. Like, there was something on the game, and you don't see that in any other All-Star game.
That was a crazy thing to wrap your head around. Because what would happen was, and there was one that I remember in Milwaukee, wasn't it? When like Bud Selig was sitting there and they're like, what do we do? We're out of pitchers. And the World Series is like, what do we do with this thing? Like, nobody has any pitchers left. We can't go to extra innings. We're out. That's one of those things that you worry about too. I don't. He's thrown a lot of stuff at the wall. I don't know if it's sticking. I don't know if it's making a difference. It feels like there are a lot of really young, fun players in the sport. It feels like there is a certain niche of people who really love it still. And I guess that's kind of its place right now. But you're right. Jacobs is 100% right. This was the all-star event to end all-star events. But it was part of it, a great part of it was the fact that you didn't see these teams or these players play against each other because they stayed in their individual leagues. So I thought they had a night, and I thought they had a pretty good weekend, and we'll see what it means from here going forward with football coming down the barrel real quickly. But I thought baseball deserves a little bit of flowers for having a pretty good couple of days down in Atlanta. AR and Matty Ice had a good day yesterday. They were at Ohio State basketball camp. You'll hear from Jake Diebler on the progress of his team. And one major sport is eyeing expansion. We'll get you that story coming up next as well. We're off and running on a First Friday. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
With over 33 years of experience, Newman Roofing has become a household name in Central Ohio. Voted best roofing company 4 years in a row, Newman Roofing delivers a white glove experience every time. When it comes to your roof, call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit newmanroofing.com today.
The Dublin Irish Festival, August 1st through 3rd in Dublin, Ohio. Voted 2025 USA Today Best Cultural Festival in the nation. This year promises 3 incredible days of Irish music, dance, food and fun. Get your tickets at dublinirishfestival.org before July 20 to save.
Did you know even the smallest increase in mortgage rates can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your loan? Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. It's true, even a 0.25% change in rate can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your mortgage. But with Third Federal's new Early Rate Lock, you don't have to take chances. Early Rate Lock is the only pre-approval that locks in your rate at pre-approval, even before you find a house. Plus, we're so confident that our rates are the lowest, if you find a lower rate, we'll beat it or give you $1,000. And for a limited time, get pre-approved with Third Federal and we'll pay all of your closing costs. So don't wait. Call Third Federal today.
Right now at Third Federal, even before you find a home, lock in 6.44% APR 6.47% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3RD-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. Zero closing costs on low-cost loans only. See conditions for lowest rate guarantee at thirdfederal.com. Equal housing lender.
Matty Ice here, up at McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. They are celebrating July 4th all month long. Right now, for qualified buyers, get up to $12,000 off MSRP on a 25 Silverado 1500. With McDaniel GM Superstore, you don't have to worry about market adjustments or hidden costs. That's why they are my go-to for a new vehicle. They are just a short drive north off Route 23 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. McDaniel GM Superstore, where great deals meet a century of trust. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
It's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, I got the nicest Google review today. Dewey from Gahanna said, "We cannot believe we are able to get the Pella look and quality at the cost we did."
I got a review too. Listen to this. These windows were great. Oh boy, for about a year. Looks like I'll need to renew, in quotes for some reason, my windows way too soon. Repeat customer?
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use law enforcement siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention, like telling you if you get a speeding ticket, it doesn't end there. You have to pay expensive fines. You can't go to your friend's wedding because that also costs money. And your insurance rates could increase. See? We didn't have to use law enforcement sirens after all. Getting a speeding ticket has consequences. Sooner or later, speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms today, some which could be stronger with gusty winds and heavy downpours. Afternoon highs will be in the upper 80s, and that mugginess is on high alert. For tonight, chances of showers and storms taper off overnight with our lows down into the 70s. And for Thursday, very similar afternoon chances of showers and thunderstorms, some that could have heavy downpours and gusty winds, highs in the upper 80s. I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo for The Fan with the 10 weather impact forecast.
Matty Ice has a large tattoo on his calf of LeBron eating a lion. I have nothing else to say. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. The perfect show for quarter zips and khaki shorts. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
You hear that, kids? That's the sound of freedom. This July, declare your independence on the open road doing RCD RV's Declare Your Independence sale. It's running July 5th through the 19th, offering all-American savings, all in-stock motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers. Wave goodbye to ordinary vacations. Say hello to adventure. Stop by any of the locations. Delaware, Heath, Pataskala. Shop online anytime at rcdrv.com. Celebrate the red, white, and blue with unbeatable savings at RCD RV. RCD RV. Freedom starts on the open road. NBA has said, you know what? We might like to expand a little bit. This is one of the worst kept secrets in sport, honestly, that they were going to do this. The idea from Silver is being reported is they are exploring expansion. Look, this is going to be Vegas and it's going to be Seattle. You're going to get the Sonics back in Seattle, and it's going to be a Vegas franchise. The question is, will LeBron James be involved in that Vegas franchise, as has long been rumored? They'll add those two teams to the West. My hunch is they would take, Memphis and New Orleans and move them to the East, and away you go.
If we're playing by college geographic rules, they would take Sacramento and one of the two Los Angeles teams.
Well, they would want, in the East, you'd want the two that brought the biggest audience. You'd want the Lakers and the Warriors. Bring those to the East, and then and do it that way.
Maybe the Thunder. I guess it would be somewhat closer. It makes the most sense, yes, to have Memphis back east.
Yeah, New Orleans.
Similarly.
Which of those towns, from a latitude standpoint, is furthest east? New Orleans, Memphis, OKC. My hunch is New Orleans.
I want to say Memphis for some reason. I don't know. I guess that is like Western Tennessee.
As I said it emphatically, though, I also think it's hard to wrap your head around that as we sit in Columbus, Ohio, we are farther east than Tallahassee, Florida is.
Oh, that is weird. Yeah, I've never thought about that.
That's a hard one to wrap your head around, that we're further east. So, yeah, my hunch is it's New Orleans, and that it would be New Orleans and Memphis. But yeah, it's got it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So those would be the two that you would. San Antonio? No.
Nope.
Houston would actually be farther east, I think, than San Antonio.
Correct.
As we show off our geography chops. Yeah. But you take Memphis and New Orleans, head them east, and then you add those two teams out west. They're monster markets. You've seen. I do wonder, fellas, is there a point? Can Vegas handle all of this? I haven't been to Vegas in a long time. Obviously, from a go there once, enjoy yourself. It's the trip to make among NFL fans who want to do a road trip. But you have the Golden Knights, who were really, give Bettman credit. He got there first, and in doing so, he won. And it's a Knights town. They've won the Cup already. So that's well ensconced. The Raiders, it's the NFL. One of the things I know that they're complaining about is they don't really have a home field advantage there because there's so many opposing teams' fans at every games. But it's still the NFL. Baseball's coming-ish. I think
they can all survive. I just think baseball's probably the least likely to thrive. But I think their arena's indoors, so I don't necessarily know if that's as much of a deterrent as I was about to say. I do think in the summertime when you're going to Vegas, you're probably not a ton interested in baseball. In basketball, they have an advantage being in November and December and January and February. It's kind of when the chunk of their season is. And so, especially if you do an NBA All-Star game in Las Vegas, that they will do, I think you can capture a lot of what the NFL does. And, hey, come to our town, come to Vegas, but also see an NBA game.
Well, they have to make changes to the NBA Cup because isn't that in Vegas?
Then keep it there.
Yeah.
It
doesn't do much for me.
Just from a population standpoint, the Las Vegas, Henderson, Paradise, Nevada metro is 2.4 million is what that is. How does that compare to ours? I think all right, so our city, we're 900,000 as a city, but what is our metro? I think our metro is more like 3.
I'm seeing 2.1.
2.25. Okay, so it's about the same. It's about the same. And they're going to have all 4 major professional sports in that town. It's about the same size. And it's way more spread out. I think it's pretty ambitious. Seattle, I'm not worried. Seattle's a massive city. Like that, they'll crush the Sonics when they bring them back. But I think the Vegas one, it's a lot pulling at purse strings of the locals there.
It still grinds my gears, just the gift that the NHL gave to Las Vegas when they gave them the franchise, and then they gave them a ready-made team to go win the Stanley Cup. I think you do need to have similar success with your sports teams upon impact. So once the NBA lands, they're ready to go with a team that wins. Similarly with Major League Baseball, similarly with the Raiders, they hope this Pete Carroll thing sticks. Because I think if you have a winner, it doesn't matter. As long as you win and you're constantly hosting games that have meaning, then they'll show up. Like that town will be as front runner as Tampa was with the Lightning or as Sunrise was with the Panthers.
I think that's why you'll never know. You'll never know if Oklahoma City was actually a good market for this because they walked into expansion basketball with Durant and Westbrook.
And helped.
I mean, you want to know a good expansion city? How about Columbus, Ohio? Let's look at how this city has supported the Blue Jackets for 25 years, and the results have not been there. That's a good expansion town. That's getting it done. All right, this was really cool. Rothman and Ice yesterday were at Buckeye Hoops summer camp. Jacob, you were jacked up for all of this. You cut all of this, right? You cut all this audio. What do you think was the most illuminating answer that Jake gave yesterday? And then go ahead and play the one that you think resonates the most.
I think, to me, it was because I hit on it yesterday. I was hoping that they could sit down with Mobley, which they did. And they also asked Diebler about Mobley. And he was kind of talking about his mindset heading into this summer and how he's holding himself more accountable on the defensive end, too, which is huge.
He has unwavering belief in himself, and I love that. And he knows I have confidence in him, and I trust him. And I thought as the season went on, he grew as a playmaker. Being his size as a guard, we know he can shoot the ball. He can make difficult shots. He can score at the rim. He can score on the perimeter. He's got to become more efficient from 2. We've talked about that. But I think continuing to develop him as a playmaker because he draws so much attention, creates so much gravity on the court, being able to read if you go back to the Minnesota game, he was the one that made that pass, where he saw traffic, made that pass to Devin on the rim to finish. So he had more and more moments like that where he really read the game well. That's the challenge for him offensively. And then defensively, right, he's got to grow in his physicality. He's got to grow in his attention to detail. And I love his mentality right now. Like he is locked in this summer at really pushing himself and holding himself accountable on the defensive side. Last year it was all me. Right. Now he's starting to take those steps for himself individually. It's going to help our team tremendously.
So you've mentioned this, and I think it's astute that this team will go kind of where Junie Mobley goes, or John. What is it, Junie or John? Which one does he prefer? Do we know?
I think I call him John Mobley Jr.
Okay, when in recruiting he was always Junie.
Yes. I know the team calls him Junior.
Is this going to be another J.J. Jeremiah Smith type thing?
I think it kind of could be. Like in recruiting, he was always Junie. This will be the thing, though, guys. In simplest terms, Mobley and Thornton, while their games are different, they both demand the ball in their hands a lot and play best with it in their hands. And they're both smallish guards. So how does Diebler maximize? It's kind of like the Cavs situation on the college level. Right? Except they haven't had the success the Cavs have had in terms of the wins and losses. But the way the Cavs figured out how to play Mitchell and Garland in the regular season, and then it led to that, how can Diebler get the most out of Thornton and Mobley together on the court at the same time? That's going to be kind of what makes this go. Well, and they're both pretty similar players, not in terms of the way they go about it, but they both need the ball in their hands a lot.
Well, like how Diebler was mentioning, he draws a lot of attention. And I went back to that Minnesota clip that he was talking about, and he took on two and kind of backed up towards half court to kind of see the floor. And then he found Royal underneath and got the poster dunk and the and one. They eventually went on to overtime. And I think we will see a little bit of that more. He's a sniper. We know that. He can pull it from the freaking logo where it's going to be now at the block O. But I think he can really establish himself as a playmaker and be a true all Big Ten type of guy if he does make that leap.
And I think the Christoph Tilly addition, we were probably saying something similar about Aaron Bradshaw last year.
Yeah, right.
You swing, you have to swing for a true big. Christoph Tilly, a true big with actual experience playing in big boy college basketball like the West Coast Conference is nothing to shake your head at. Like, there's 2 seasons of Tilly at Santa Clara that can give, I think, Ohio State fans greater confidence that this will work out a little better with a true 7-footer, to the point of if Mobley can see the floor better than he did last season and Tilly can make his bones, especially in Big Ten play, against those other true 7-footers, then you've got a better chance, I think, to compete in January and February. You're not dealing with those kind of lulls in recent seasons.
In the last 5 minutes a game, who has the ball in their hands in a tight game?
Junie.
Bruce.
I think it's got to be Bruce.
That's you see, Mike. That's where I think will be the conundrum for Jake. Is what does that look? How do they handle that? Because they're the 2 most critical players, and there's a little redundancy in their games in terms of how they want to go about it. So I think that will be the challenge for him. But that was a really cool thing that AR and Maddie did yesterday, and to be able to have that type of window in to Buckeye basketball here in the middle of July. Good job out of everybody involved with that. Well, you wanted solutions, kid. At the very highest order, you're going to get. You could very well very soon get some answers on NIL and a national standard. We'll give you the details on that in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends, right here on the Fan.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds, through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Get Eco. Aaron, you know that complete HVAC system we sell for $12,000?
Yeah, it's for homes that are 1,600 square feet or less.
How big is 1,600 square feet?
3 bedroom, 2.5 bath. Those homes are what America is made of.
Get Eco. Other companies are charging $15,000 to $18,000 for that same system.
Yeah, I know.
And if your family doesn't need a new furnace, Eco will replace the AC component for just $8,500. Why are we doing this?
Nurses, police officers, office workers, firefighters, and school teachers live in those houses, Jerry.
The people that America is made of live in the houses that America is made of.
We're just doing what we can to restore balance to the universe, Jerry.
Get Eco. When a person is doing well, they're making money. But when they're doing good, they're helping others.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
We're bringing balance to the universe.
Go to geteco.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Well, here's what's up on a First Friday. You could be getting an answer on name, image, and likeness sooner than maybe some thought, and it could be coming from the very highest office in the land. President Trump, according to CBS, is set to sign an executive order on a national NIL standard. According to CBS, President Trump intends to sign an executive order in the coming days establishing national standards for NCAA's name, image, and likeness program. This is going on at the same time as yesterday on Tuesday, a House subcommittee advanced a bill that would establish national standards for NIL sponsorship. The legislation, called the SCORE Act, would supersede a patchwork of state laws regulating name, image, and likeness. While the bill has bipartisan support, there's also bipartisan concern that it could give up too much power to the NCAA and do little to protect the interests of college athletics. What are the interests of college athletics? I mean, let's just get down to it. What are their interests?
Cash and control.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, this is both of these things are get out of jail free cards. But I think much like a get out of jail free card, you're going to play it once and you very likely could end up back in jail your next time around the board.
I think this is fluff because I'll just put myself in the shoes of a Eastern District Court judge in the state of Tennessee. I'm going to block that executive order under the grounds of pick the grounds that you just can't issue that kind of an executive order. I mean,
well, he can issue it.
He can issue it. Great.
Is it going to be something that is either what the president does or what happens in the House? If it eventually, are either of the things going to be able to stand up to the court of law? And that's the problem. Is any time what
does
all
it
of
ever?
These, no, and what all of these things are going to try to do is limit what can be made in name, image, and likeness. And the problem with name, image, and likeness is its vagueness. How do you define it? How do you corral it? You can't. There really isn't. There isn't a way to do it because this is a capitalist society. You are worth what someone is willing to pay you. So if you are five-star quarterback Billy Bob out of West Canaan Coyotes, and all of a sudden you got a car dealer in Lubbock who says, well, it's worth it for me for Billy Bob's name, image, and likeness to be on the side of my Cadillac store, and I'm going to pay him $1.5 million for that. And you say, well, that's an exorbitant amount, and the guy who owns the Cadillac dealership says, well, not to me, it's not. I mean, it's worth it for me. How are you going to patrol that?
Bryce Underwood's going to be the perfect example for all of this moving forward, right? Yeah. Like, who's actually giving him the NIL deals? Is this Oracle, the company itself?
Are there actual deals, Reese?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great question.
Does he have to do anything?
Does he have to issue? Does he have to go to the clearinghouse and says, yeah, it's $10.5 million, which is slightly above $600. Even my state school math's gonna calculate that out and tell you, is the business of is Oracle, are they using Bryce Underwood to promote a product? I don't think so. But good luck enforcing that, guys. I mean, good luck with all of this.
I mean, so he last posted, I haven't really seen him post anything I'm on his Twitter right now.
Like doing the actual act of promoting a business?
Yeah, I guess he did he did a third annual Champion Circle Golf Classic featuring Sharon Moore. Like he did that. He did that like on July 1st. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there isn't anything in here that would lead you to believe that he's actually he's actually doing the business of NIL. And this isn't to pick on him. It's
he's
easy,
just the perfect example.
But he's the best example of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, it's pretty straightforward. Like if you want the NIL here's one for you, and this will be in Jake's wheelhouse. Look at Darren Peterson.
Yeah.
I mean, Darren Peterson, after his sophomore year at Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy up in Northeast Ohio, decided Adidas came to him, probably Nike too, and said, we'd really like you to be an Adidas guy, and we have 7 figures that we'd like to give you right now. And Darren said, well, where do I sign and where do I have to go to school? And where'd he go? He went to Huntington Prep, right? And then he went and got his money. And I remember talking to Jardy when they were recruiting Darren Peterson here, and I said, dude, this is a waste of time. Like, he's got a 7-figure deal with Adidas. He is playing at an Adidas school. So when I saw the finalist list for him were Kansas State, and Ohio State, God bless you, Jake, but like, he wasn't going anywhere other than the 3 stripes. And that's where he was going, was Kansas. I mean, and guess where he is? Kansas. That's a perfect example of it.
And there was, I don't think Cooper Flagg signed the deal with New Balance when he was still in high school. But before he had played at Duke, which is a Nike school, he was already with New Balance.
But I don't think there is a New Balance college team basketball.
I don't think so.
And I don't think his deal with New Balance was signed after he signed with Duke. Before he played for Duke, but after he signed with Duke. So the idea, and there's going to be more of this to come, where you grab it. Look at Jeremiah Smith. I mean, he's signed his deal with Adidas, right, last month. But like, so how do they handle? So like, on his social media, he will be all in Adidas, but on anything through Ohio State, he's going to be in Nike.
Chris Henry hasn't taken a step in an Ohio State uniform in an Ohio State game and is an Adidas athlete.
He's already
Chris
an
Henry
Adidas
Jr.
athlete too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
is that, so what that is Adidas getting around the Nike universities to get influence with athletes at Nike universities, players at Nike universities. That's what that is an attempt to do that. What's crazy about it is, and James used to talk about this all the time, there aren't that many NFL players with like shoe deals. Like, they'll give you gear, but there aren't that many that pay guys to wear their stuff. It's only at the very, very top of the sport in the NFL. Everybody else, like, yeah, you can wear this stuff, they'll give it to you, but it's not like they're paying you cash. In fact, he talked about how you'd get like a certain amount that you could spend at the Nike store, and that's the way that would work. So that is something. I am so glasses half empty on all of this stuff to think any of it's going to have any true weight behind it. But you do have to take notice if it's the president and he's signing an executive order, because that can't be ignored. How they enforce it, how they police it, I have no idea. But it's one of those things that can't be ignored. I think that this notion of policing any of this is going to be just foolish, absolutely foolish to do this. I don't know how you could ever get to the real truth on any of it. It's going to remind you very much, in a way, we're kind of back to where we were like in the 80s with the NCAA trying to police kind of stuff. But how did they do that, guys? They relied on journalism to go find the wrongdoing, and then they leaned on it. They weren't doing it on their own. They weren't looking for wrongdoing on their own. They would need the Washington Post or the Wall Street Journal or the Columbus Dispatch. You would need somebody to do the investigating, Yahoo, and then they would look into it and investigate it. But they weren't looking for it. It had to be presented to them. And no matter what happens, if the president signs this executive order, if something happens with this House bill, who's going to police it? Who's going to investigate it? There's nobody to do it. So the FBI? I mean, didn't the FBI get Kansas? And nothing happened to
on a
them.
wiretap.
Nothing happened.
Will Wade and what the strong-ass offer on a wiretap. And now Will Wade's coaching at NC State.
Yeah.
So
and Bill Self's still at Kansas.
They gave him a national championship like 8 months after they revealed they had him on wiretap.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can see how you would be dubious to think that anything substantial would be coming.
I am looking forward to the president with his big black Sharpie marker signing the executive order, making a big hullabaloo about it, and then I'm going to call it a district court judge in Tennessee saying, actually, no,
right.
I'm blocking you from actually issuing that executive order.
That feels very much how like this will
More lawyers!
I just love to throw money at lawyers. A lot of litigation. But NCAA, head of litigious services. Arch Manning will debut as the Texas starting quarterback. Yes, we know he's already started games before, but truly his team. He will do so in a little over a month right here at the Horseshoe. He was available yesterday at SEC Media Days. Some pretty candid answers in terms of how he got to this point and the hype that will surround him this year. We will get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My AC stopped working. Your competition says it's fried. When I saw their cost to replace it, I could have just died.
We can give a second opinion, give you options and advice. We'll strive to earn your trust and make you a client for life.
Get a free second opinion. Replace or repair.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Hear that? That's the sound of freedom. This July, declare your independence on the open road during RCD RV's Declare Your Independence sale, running July 5th through the 19th, offering all-American savings on all in-stock motorhomes, fifth wheels, and travel trailers. Wave goodbye to ordinary vacations and say hello to adventure. Stop by any of our locations, Delaware, Heath, and Pataskala, or shop online anytime at rcdrv.com. Celebrate the red, white, and blue with unbeatable savings at RCD RV. RCD RV. Freedom starts on the open road.
At Delta Dental of Ohio, we understand oral and vision health is connected to overall well-being. With Delta Dental and Delta Vision, you get affordable, comprehensive coverage from a name you know and trust. Our plans are designed to keep your teeth strong and vision clear, so you can confidently smile at life. 2 great plans, 1 name you can trust. Learn more at deltadentaloh.com.
Football in July, outstanding, and it's kicking off at the Pro Football Hall of Fame July 31st in Football Heaven in Canton, Ohio. And you can still grab tickets for the Hall of Fame game between the Lions and the Chargers. And then on August 2nd, 4 of the greatest of all time get immortalized in bronze at the Class of 25 enshrinement. And cap off the weekend Sunday with a concert for legends featuring Nickelback with special guest Mitchell Tenpenny. It's a gold jacket weekend. Visit ProFootballHof.com to learn more and get your tickets.
Let's be honest, we could all use a little vacation from the ordinary. But with Tim Hortons' new refreshers, you don't need to pack your bags. Just sip, relax, and enjoy your refreshing 16-ounce vacation. With tropical mango packed with real pineapple and mango pieces. And strawberry watermelon kiwi featuring real pieces of strawberry and kiwi. Also try it with lemonade or coconut milk. A choose-your-own taste bud adventure. Head to Tim's for the new refreshers. Your 16-ounce vacation awaits. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
Bourbon, bourbon, bourbon. Cherry Valley Hotel will be hosting a bourbon event called Neat on Saturday, July 26th from 4 to 9 p.m. Explore 15 distilleries, including Woodford, Middle West, and Watershed, along with live music, a cigar bar, classes, and more. For more information, visit cherryvalleyhotel.com.
It's hot out. Stay in the house and cool yourself with the sweet sounds of The Fan. You can watch on YouTube or tell your smart speaker to play 97.1 The Fan. It's the equivalent of putting ice cubes down your pants. All right! The Fan.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could it be lower testosterone?
Lower T.
Happens to most guys after 40. I was in the same boat until I started using Nugenix Total T2.
Total T2, the new one I've seen on TV.
Yep, it's the next generation testosterone booster for both free and total testosterone. It's packed with even more man-boosting power, sending nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours.
It actually works?
I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I've got more energy, better results in the gym, and things are even better in the bedroom. Send them a text and get a complimentary bottle.
Text now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the #1 testosterone brand at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free. Text CASH to 231231. CASH to 231231. CASH to 231231.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Accurate Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
They'll offer betting advice, but don't bet on it being good. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
And Bishop and Friends is proudly sponsored by our great friends at Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 78 years. I'll tell you what. Beamsy especially, man, he cannot stand Arch Manning. Can't stand him. This was on Sunday night. I told the story Monday when Tim was on with me, Reese. And I just hear this in the basement. Arch Manning, you suck. You suck, Arch Manning, just screaming it.
He hasn't even, played much.
No, I hated him. He goes, I go, why do you hate him so bad? He goes, he's constantly getting glossed. He's getting all glossed up all the time. Okay, all right. I guess maybe he is. I think he's going to play this season with the most pressure of any guy who's never previously really played ever. I don't even really know what second would be. I suppose if Bronny James would have come to Columbus or Kentucky or something like that, but he played at USC and he had the heart thing in that off. That was right before the season. He had that in the season. And so I don't know that there was ever a chance for that hype train. It was in LA. They have the Lakers, the Dodgers. They're just not paying attention to it. But and I think all of us also knew that Bronny wasn't someone who was going to change the fortunes of a program. He was not that type of player. Arch, we are told, is. What we've seen of him has been pretty good, but we really haven't seen much. And one of the things that always comes up on this is, did he ever consider leaving? Why did he not play sooner if he is so good? He was available at SEC Media Days yesterday, and among the topics were those. And let's start with if he ever considered leaving Texas.
Yeah, no, that never really crossed my mind. I knew Texas was the place I wanted to be. It was the city I wanted to be in with a great education, and I had friends there, and I was still developing and growing as a football player and as a person, so I never really wanted to leave. If there was somewhere else I wanted to be, I would have gone. Here he is on the hardest thing he's had to do since he's been at Texas. I think I would say probably from going, I played, this is not really a big deal, but I played every year in high school. It was 2A high school football, so that doesn't mean anything. But from sitting out and not playing, that was pretty tough. But I think more so now, just dealing with the media and stuff, I don't really care about all that. So I'm just here to play football, and that's kind of what I want my focus to be. That's one of those things where I think even he confused media with social media.
It's all the same at this point, I think.
I think kids can't tell the difference.
They don't see anything different from what you see on social media to what you see on ESPN to what you see on Instagram to TikTok. It's all media.
Yeah, I think it gets kind of all in that as well, in that same bucket. Obviously, he has a lot to prove and a lot of pressure this year. Here he is on that. I'm not really in the business of this is going to sound mean, but caring what other people think. But, I'm grateful that y'all think that, but I've only played, 2 games, so I got a lot to prove. But, I'm ready to play, though. I'm trying to walk the walk and do the work and then, correct if I need to. But I feel like you have to have a good relationship with everyone before you try and lead. So that's what I've tried to build over the past 2 years, and then now be more of a vocal leader. All right, so the expectation is he's the number 1 pick in the draft. He wins the Heisman, and he leads Texas to a national title. That's the expectation, right?
This year?
That's it?
Pretty much.
In the next 2 years, he's got to do all of that. Once, he's got to do all of that. It would be like if Cooper Flagg was Larry Bird's kid. That's
he
kind
plays
of what
it, honestly.
Yeah, he does. That's kind of what it would be like. This family royalty, this name recognition, and all you have to do is have a Joe Burrow year at Texas, the greatest year in the history of college. Oh, that's it. That's all you got to do. If he doesn't do any of those, if he's not the number 1 pick in the draft, I think people would be surprised by that. If he doesn't win the Heisman, would there be? By the way, none of his well, did Arch win it? Peyton finished second to Charles Woodson. Eli, I think, finished top 3rd. Sometimes I feel like Arch won it, and then sometimes I think he didn't.
He was 4th in 69 and 3rd in 1970.
So he did not.
No.
All right. So he was close, but he was in the mix. So none of them. So all he has to do is do something that his famous relatives have not. Now Eli and Peyton were the number 1 overall pick in the draft. He's got to do that. None of them won a national title, so he's got to do better than they all did there, and that's the minimum jumping off point. It's just an impossible thing. It really is.
And the first time he really gets his team to play a football game is at Ohio Stadium against the defending national champions.
It is going to be it's going to be a scene. That week is going to be a scene. That Thursday, that Friday, when they roll into town on that Friday, if that's indeed when they fly up, that's going to be a scene. That Saturday morning is going to be a scene. We all wish everybody wanted it to be night. That would have been even more electric. But yeah. And the other quarterback is the number one quarterback in the country from 2 years ago, most likely. So, yeah. You want hype? Defending national champs, Jeremiah Smith.
A rematch of last year's semifinal game.
Yeah. Oh, hey, so speaking of Beamsy playing the college football game, so he got to his playoff. So he lost the opener to Texas, then he won the rest of them. And he ended up being the 2 seed. And remember we did this last year. Like they've loved NC State last year in the game. Like NC State was always good. All of the seasons the boys played, NC State was always in the mix. So they were the 2 seed. The path was, so they got the bye. He got the bye with the Bucs. Then he played Auburn in the Rose Bowl, which was a little bit surprising.
Hugh Freeze got off the golf course?
He got off the golf course, dude. He's out coaching him up. Got him in there. So, and isn't the kid that was at Oklahoma, isn't he the quarterback there now? I think he was. Like the 5-star kid who was benched last year at Oklahoma. I think he's at Auburn now. So
Jackson Arnold?
Yeah, right? Do I have that right?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah. Okay. And then he played Penn State. Penn State played Texas in the other quarterfinal. Penn State beat Texas. So he played Penn State in the national semifinal. And then in the national championship game, the other semifinal was USC and Miami. And Miami beat USC. So it was Miami, Ohio State for the national.
So the U is back in the video game.
Yeah. Yeah. With Carson back, the U is back.
Is that if Miami's successful this season and they go into a Carson Beck Heisman campaign, would you want to say the U is Beck?
You could. You could say the U is Beck. You certainly could say that. I think people forget, like, he had a major surgery on his throwing shoulder. Like, I know he's throwing, but, like, he's got to come back from a lot. But they've spent. And by the way, Texas Tech, who I know you did on 20 Most Interesting, they made the playoff too. Texas Tech did make the playoff out of the Big 12. They made it.
That's their ROI, I think.
Yeah.
Right, for year one under this Cody Campbell
experiment. Is that the feeling you got? What was the feeling you got? I was out for that one.
Definitely appear in the Big 12 title game.
Okay.
Because damn it, Texas Tech's head coach, the name escapes me. But
Joey McGuire.
Thank you. But he was saying and has been saying that the goal at the end of the season's to be in Dallas. The end of the season's to be in Dallas. And so that's where the Big 12 title game's going to... Right. Then you build off of that next year, I think is what they expect. But
that league is there for the taking.
Yep.
It's there for someone who wants to take it. Absolutely. It's an hour sooner than normal, but we think you guys are up to it. Hey, guys, coming your way next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Catch the latest from the world of Ohio State athletics. Weeknights at 6 on The Buckeye Show. New special guests in everything scarlet and gray. The Fan.
Men, summertime is here, and that means vacations, summer barbecues, outdoor parties, camping, beaches, and so much more. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're like many men, you may not be feeling like yourself this summer. Perhaps your energy is low and you aren't sleeping well. Maybe your workouts aren't as good as they used to be, and if what I'm describing is you, it's very likely you're suffering with low testosterone. But low T doesn't have to affect you anymore. Just call Tri-State Men's Health, get treated, and see how it changes your life. If you're like most men, you'll feel so much better. Deeper sleep, improved vitality and clarity, greater strength and energy, and an enhanced sex drive as well. So call us. Just $99 gets you a PSA and T-test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654. That's 800-900-9654. Or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the tri-state area to serve you.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off of closing costs. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 6.44%, APR 6.47% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-THIRD-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Dropping just 25 pounds with Awaken 180 can actually give you 10 extra degrees of golf swing rotation. Now, I'm not Bryson, a mad scientist, but that sounds good. It's about a half a club longer, 6 to 10 extra yards every swing. But from personal experience, lose 75 pounds like me, and it's next level distance. Way better consistency, energy, and mood, especially on the back nine. Take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with Awaken 180 degree weight loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
The sun is out and the savings are on at Coughlin Kia, Central Ohio's largest volume Kia dealer. Take up to $7,000 off MSRP on any new Kia EV in stock, or get up to $3,000 off MSRP plus 0% financing for 60 months. Visit CoughlinKia.com.
Largest Kia dealer based on current ground stock at all 4 Coughlin Kia locations. 0% for 60 months equals $1,667 for 1,000 finance. All manufacturer incentives to dealer. Prior sales excluded. Dealer financing required. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. Ends 7/31/25.
Common Man and Timmy here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Timmy?
Yeah, we got a lot of fun things going on this month, like karaoke.
And crab legs.
No, not yet. Live bands. We've got food trucks in the outdoor valet area.
Crab legs.
Oh, not yet. On select weekend days throughout the summer. Okay, now crab legs.
And all you can eat crab legs at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Join Penn Play Rewards and play up to $500 on us. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, crab legs.
Oh, yeah, we love crab legs.
Time for crab legs?
Okay, crab legs.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. For the first time in MLB history, the All-Star Game went to a home run derby instead of extra innings last night in Atlanta. The American League tied things at 6 in the 9th inning. Phillies slugger Kyle Schwarber went 3 for 3 in the home run derby to give the National League an All-Star Game win for the first time since 2023. MLB's regular season resumes on Friday. The Reds are at the Mets while the Guardians host the Athletics. In NHL news, the league will release their entire 2025-2026 regular season schedule today at 1 o'clock. The season's going to start Tuesday, October 7th, starting with the Florida Panthers hosting the Boston Bruins. And in soccer tonight, the Columbus Crew look to build off their 4-2 win over FC Cincinnati. Black and Gold are in the Music City tonight versus Nashville SC at 8:30. Columbus and Nashville tied with 41 points. That's good for third in the East. The Crew are back at Lower.com Field Saturday against DC United. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
sports conversation that's worthy of a toast, or at least a stiff drink. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, an hour sooner than normal, but nevertheless, on a First Friday, it is time for a little Hey Guys. Hit it, fellas.
Nothing is off limits. Your participation is required. Just use the hashtag HeyGuys and ask anything you want. Do it now.
All right, winner here gets that $50 gift card to our great friends at High Bank Distillery. That free tasting for up to 10 people as well. High Bank, home of the best blended whiskey in America and a damn fine vodka. I'll tell you that as well. All right, boys, hit it.
So what we can do is, in live, real time, take your Hey Guys on the YouTube chat and on Twitter. We're browsing things. But, Bo, you sent this to me yesterday from Redacted in the 614, who tweeted at you, need honest advice. Official after-work happy hour tomorrow at High Bank Distillery. I'm afraid to attend because those drinks are too good and things get said. Boss is attending. Do I skip and play it safe?
No, you don't skip and play it safe. You go Redacted in the 614, the great S. But what you do, you go and then you just are disciplined. You're just very disciplined. So you're going to do a cocktail, and then you do a water back. And every time you have a sip of the cocktail, have a sip of the water. And really nurse that first one. I mean, just be disciplined. You're a professional. You can handle it. I have full faith in you to be able to handle it. Nobody wants to be sloppy in front of their boss, so don't be. Just have the discipline. One and a water, no more than two. Shut it down. If it goes further, then you're shut down. Then at that point, and if you're worried about, hell, go to one of the bartenders and say, hey, just give me a ginger ale on the rocks. Fine. That'll solve it. People will be off your case. But just be smart, be disciplined. You'll be fine.
I feel like since you put this out into the Twitterverse that you have to go now.
It's true.
So I feel like there's no way around it. Yeah, don't skip it.
Yeah. Discipline.
It's a happy hour, so it doesn't need to be a 2-hour affair.
No.
You can do what I do. Pop in, pop out.
It's not a tailgate.
20, 30 minutes.
That's all you need.
And you've fulfilled any obligations to your employers who are probably paying for it. So go and have a beer on your boss.
Yeah.
Dustin asks on the YouTube chat, hey, guys, with all the small town fairs popping up, what was your go-to ride, games, and or food? The Gravitron was always the best for me, but I haven't seen in what feels like 20 years.
It's Gravitron for sure, dude. For sure. You could take your chick on Gravitron with you.
Hey, baby, you want to ride the Gravitron?
That's exactly right. Those things are unbelievable. Do you guys know what the Gravitron is?
It's the one where the floor drops?
It's the one where they spin you so fast that it feels that you're pinned up against it, and you almost feel like you're not going around, and you can kind of spin around and be upside down because it keeps you to the wall, and then it like lifts up a little bit. No, Gravitron's where it's at. That's the answer. The rest of it, I'll tell you what. A nice. We used to have something at the Montana State Fair called the Grand Wheel. That was nice because if you had a lady friend, that would take a long time to go all the way around. So that was kind of a winner. It took them felt like 30 minutes to load the thing.
Well, so I'm not a rides guy.
No rides?
Nope. Okay, so I went to Disney on my honeymoon with my wife, and I did ride some rides there, but it's just something about that rush that I don't like. But
and yet you went to Disney World.
Yes, and I had a fantastic time. But
what did you do? Just eat like smoked turkey legs?
Drink at Epcot?
Yeah, we drank around the road at Epcot. That was a blast.
That's fun. Yeah.
But I am from Circleville, so there is the pumpkin show.
That's right.
That's a fair. Yeah.
I don't ride any of the rides there, and nor do I really trust a ton. But I just go there for the pumpkins, the pumpkin donuts, right. the giant pumpkins. It's the best time. It's the best time of year in October.
It really is.
Are any of you guys a funnel cake fan?
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't like it? I mean, it feels like those always win. I love this. I love the fair food smells.
Yeah,
that's pretty undefeated. Yeah.
The Ohio State Fair, I think, starts next Wednesday.
Okay.
And they've got those sky rides that take you, I think, just back and forth on that wire line. That's always fun. I mean, anytime you step in a state fair or a county fair or a regional fair, you are putting your life on the line.
Yeah.
Like your life is in the Lord's hands. May he do what he feels is best.
I think you have that right.
Phil asks in the YouTube chat, hey guys, describe your perfect summer cookout scenario. Location, food, drink, attendance, games, music, weather, etc.
I think anywhere by a body of water. So that can be a lake, pool, ocean, whatever you want. I'll be honest with you. I don't love grilling like hot dogs and burgers. I think it's really labor intensive. So my perfect one is I'll do like a couple of racks of ribs, and I'll do them in the oven and then finish them on the grill. And then it's just a quick flip to get the char, and then you're good. I like planning ahead on my summer cookout. So I would probably do a rack of ribs, and I do it that way.
For me, it'd be golf in the morning, 18 holes, and then come back to burgers and brats.
Pretty good.
You know what we've done recently is just make sliders. You get a couple rotisserie chickens,
those are good,
shred them, and then make buffalo sliders or barbecue sliders. You get like a loaf of the Hawaiian, or I guess, I don't know if it's a loaf, but the King's Hawaiian rolls. You cut them in half, and you just make batch sliders.
That's a win.
Everybody's happy as long as you've got beer. This is from Muggsy's Sincere Leaper in the YouTube chat. He says, Franklin County Fair has motocross tonight, weather permitting.
There you go.
So
all you need.
Mark asks on Twitter, hey guys, what NIL deals would you want back in college, and what sponsorships would you want now? He says in college he would do Taco Bell and Big Mama's Burritos. Now he would do Home Depot and Toyota.
So in college, the smart thing to do would have been, now we didn't have Giant Eagle or something like that, but we had Albertsons. So like an Albertsons or a Costco sponsorship would have been probably the smart thing to do. What I would say now that would be pretty money would be like NetJets or Marquee Jets. Didn't Jackson Dart have that? Like, that feels like the win, right? Like, even if it's 4 or 5 times a year, but like, just imagine how much better your spring break is. Like, you'd load that thing up with 5 of your buddies and bounce around on that. Just imagine like your social life. Hey honey, where do you want to go to dinner? How about New York City? We can fly there. I'll be there in 45 minutes. On my plane. Like, come on.
That'd be incredible.
I feel like that's probably the one that's the most that I would enjoy the most. But I think anything with food and groceries would probably be the one you'd benefit the most from.
Yeah, I'm going to go a food route and go with a fun casual joint with Roosters.
You can't go wrong there.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me all the wings I can get.
Yeah, Chipotle's probably ideal.
Yeah, that too.
That'd be another good one.
Or Cane's.
Cane's, yeah. It's something you can get in, get out, but get often, and it never, at least for me, Chipotle never gets old. Like, I never tire of it. I don't get it often just because you cook at home. But if you were to pick something like, I don't think Chipotle's going to get old. I don't think Cane's will get old.
Yeah.
I also think like an REI endorsement. Maybe back then Adidas, you get all the athleisure.
There you go.
You could think of. This is from Huddy Burner on Twitter. And he tells a story before he asks a question. He says, drove 12 hours to Hilton Head last week only for the rental company to deny us because we're in college, even though the agreement clearly said 21 plus. And he asks, what's the worst travel fiasco you've had that still sticks with you?
What was I need to know, does he give the resolution to this?
I'm looking, but I don't see it.
How can you lawfully keep people out who are over the age that's the minimum?
I guess their rental company, they can do as they please and show up with your lawyer.
If you sign the agreement and you're over 20, I don't know. Okay, I've got 2 that, I spent the night at the Denver airport with NBC, then 3 sleeping on my chest because there were no hotels in Denver, the greater Denver. So I literally slept on the floor of the Denver airport. So that was an all-time bad one, especially when you have your kid with you. That was brutal. But that even pales in comparison to this. We are flying back from the Bahamas on spring break into Newark. I get a message on my United app. Your flight has been canceled. Please try to rebook. Get to the United counter. Okay. You got to get me to Ohio. What are we doing? Sir, this is as far as the flight can take you. If you want us to this was on a Saturday. If you want us to get you to Ohio, you're going to have to go Tuesday is the soonest we can get you. At which point I then sprinted the rental car counter and an SUV and drove the 7 hours back, or 8 or whatever it ended up being. But the idea that like They in their mind, in the eyes of United, they had returned me home. Let me just tell you something. Newark, New Jersey is not Ohio. It's not. Not even a bordering state. The only satisfaction I took for it is, for probably 6 months, I would get updates from them that they were still looking for my bags with which I had, that were actually delivered home before I got home. But the idea that they were still on a wild goose chase looking for bags that were in my possession, that was the only satisfaction I got.
So I don't have anything to that extent.
You do.
Yeah, I don't have anything that bad. Like, I couldn't top that one if I...
Well, so my first time flying, too, was also for my honeymoon to Disney. And I had a little rush because when I got off, we were getting our bags and on the carousel and everything. And I was able to golf on our honeymoon, too. Shout out to my wife for that. But I didn't see my golf clubs come off with my luggage. And I was like, okay, where are they at? And I go to rush back over to the counter, trying to figure out what to do. I see out of the corner of my eyes the oversized bags.
Oh.
And there it was.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah, flights delayed. Thankfully for me, nothing near that bad. I've had to stay over in hotels and cities. Like, I flew from London to New York like a decade ago. They're like, oh, your flight's canceled. I'm like, all right, what do I do with this? Because it was the first time I had encountered that. And like, oh, here's a hotel voucher. We'll get a car to take you there and come back tomorrow morning. Like, all right. Because at that point, what do you do?
Well, they don't even do that stuff anymore.
No.
They're done with it. You're on your own. We wish you the best of luck. I mean, they literally said to me, in the eyes of United, you're home. In Newark, which continues to not be in Ohio. We did get an update from Huddy Burner. He said we stayed the night at a grandparents that weren't too far away, made a weekend of it, and then headed back to Seabus defeated and frustrated. That's outrageous.
Yeah.
That's outrageous. Like, if you had a contract, that's crazy. God, that sucks, man. That really sucks. That's an awful thing to do.
All right, we got to pick a winner.
Well, isn't
Redacted?
Redacted, like he's headed to High Bank tonight. So it feels like, yeah, enjoy it, buddy. You're the winner. Enjoy that $50 gift card, the distillery tour, and tasting for up to 10 people. You'll do that at our great friends at High Bank Distillery. So good luck. Actually got a good piece of advice from Doug on social as well on this. Used to get up after one cocktail with coworkers, find our server, slip her or him a 5-spot, and tell her or him from that point, instead of Bacardi and Coke with a slice of lime, just a Coke in the same glass with a slice of lime. No one knew the difference. Savvy. Smart move. Yeah. With coworkers, like, yeah, discipline. Speaking of discipline, discipline play could be happening down 71 South in Cincinnati in regard to the Bengals and their first-round pick. We'll get you the details on that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Big Voice Guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
The countdown is on. Save the date because Diamonds Direct's Designer Summer Sale kicks off this Monday, July 21st with 20% off the entire store. Engagement rings, diamond studs, fashion jewelry, and more. Want early access? Book your appointment now because the best pieces go fast. Don't miss the jewelry event of the season next week only at Diamonds Direct, and designer appearances July 25th through 27th. Top designers from New York and LA with their exclusive collections. Visit diamondsdirect.com to book your appointment and start saving.
Take time to enjoy the summer chill and good life this week with Meijer low prices. Save on all your classic summer flavors like fresh blueberries, 3 pints for just $5, and $1.99 a pound fresh from Meijer whole pork shoulder butt roast. Plus, save a good deal more with hot deals on Meijer brand must-haves like Meijer bottled water, $2.99 for a 24-pack, and Meijer freezer pops just $1.99. Live the good life this summer by saving a good deal more at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
At United Dairy Farmers, Peach is our most popular ice cream. Although it's only here for a short time, we sell more of it than any other flavor. And once you taste it, you'll know why it wins the popularity contest. We make it from scratch by mixing in the juice from our hand-selected peaches and big chunks of fruit. That's what gives it that unique peachier flavor. And that might also explain why peach season at UDF doesn't last long. UDF Peach Ice Cream, made for you.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My toilet's clogged, backed up too. The sink is running slow. Water's backed up everywhere. Oh, please don't overflow.
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain or you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free.
Guaranteed. Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Nationwide Picnic with the Pops presents Journey's music as you've never heard it before. The Columbus Symphony performs Wingborne's The Music of Journey. Vocalist Justin Sargent, both a full rock band and orchestra, capture Journey's timeless music. Saturday, July 19th at the Columbus Commons. The Columbus Symphony performs Wingborne's The Music of Journey. Get tickets now at picnicwiththepops.com or at the Kappa Ticket Center.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Hear that? That's the sound of freedom. This July, declare your independence on the open road during RCD RV's Declare Your Independence sale, running July 5th through the 19th, offering all-American savings on all in-stock motorhomes, fifth wheels, and travel trailers. Wave goodbye to ordinary vacations and say hello to adventure. Stop by any of our locations, Delaware, Heath, and Pataskala, or shop online anytime at rcdrv.com. Celebrate the red, white, and blue with unbeatable savings at RCD RV. RCD RV. Freedom starts on the open road.
How many different ways can you consume morning juice? Let's see.
Live on YouTube, live on the Fans HD3, podcast on demand, and on 10 TV Plus.
And we'll send Bobby right to your house.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 8.
The Fan.
Hi, I'm Josie. My daughter turns 5 today. Blow out the candles. I'm also an Ohio State Highway Patrol trooper. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're making sure I can get home to celebrate with my daughter.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. Let's all give them room to work. When you see flashing lights, remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention, like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself, or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See, we didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms today, some which could be stronger with gusty winds and heavy downpours. Afternoon highs will be in the upper 80s, and that mugginess is on high alert. For tonight, chances of showers and storms taper off overnight with our lows down into the 70s. And for Thursday, very similar afternoon chances of showers and thunderstorms, some that could have heavy downpours and gusty winds, highs in the upper 80s. I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo for The Fan with the 10 weather impact forecast.
An encyclopedic knowledge of sports and other random things you may or may not care about.
I think I found my mentor.
Rockman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. Drink recommendations, movie reviews, sports discussion, and whatever the hell Reeser does. This is Bishop and Friends.
You hear that? It's the sound of freedom, kids. This July, declare your independence on the open road during RCD RV's Declare Your Independence sale. It's running July 5th through the 19th, offering all-American savings on all in-stock motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers. Wave goodbye to ordinary vacations. Say hello to adventure. Stop by any of the locations, Delaware, Heath, Pataskala. Shop online anytime at rcdrv.com. Celebrate the red, white, and blue with unbeatable savings at RCD RV. RCD RV. Freedom starts with the open road. One thing that you see a lot of those Sprinter type vehicles. I know they have a bunch of them at RCD. Those things are everywhere at these youth tournaments that I'm at, man. And I feel every time I see one, I'm like, God, those guys are living. That's the way you do it right there. Speaking of living, this is a pretty wild story. Bud Elliott, 24/7 Sports, reporting that this is a quote from someone down at Texas A&M in regard to Shamar Stewart. A guy who's had some good Texas A&M stuff in the past has hit me. He's like, hey, Shamar may end up back here. He's been at College Station. He's been fully involved in workouts. He could try to come back and play again this season and go into the draft again next year. So then Kelsey Conway, who covers the Bengals for The Athletic, can confirm from a source that he is training at A&M by himself using their facilities, very common, to get ready for the upcoming NFL season, not with Texas A&M team carry on. Okay, fine. But when I saw this yesterday, is there anything that would preclude him from doing so? Is there a rule that would keep him from, if he wanted to go play college football again, is there anything that would keep him from doing so?
If you get the agent, does that
No, because they have agents, Reese.
They do now.
Yeah. We were just reporting yesterday that somebody reached out to Jeremiah Smith, and his representation said it would take $7 million for him to leave Ohio State. So I don't think it would be that. Is there anything in the NFL rules that would prohibit him from doing this?
I guess my understanding of it was that if you declared for the draft, that, yeah, you were in the draft, you were in that process, you were done with college. But
that was in a day, buddy, when once you did that, you became a professional athlete.
Right.
I mean, they're all professional athletes now.
Maurice Clarett sued and won entrance into the NFL draft. So what would preclude Shamar Stewart from getting representation to sue? Would he sue the NFL to allow him?
I don't think he has to, because my hunch is that there's nothing.
He hasn't signed a contract.
No, and even if he does, it doesn't matter, because the only thing that would keep them from being college athletes still in the old days was the fact that they had taken money professionally, be it from an agent or from a sneaker deal or whatever. Well, now all of that's legal. I mean, I guess what I'm saying here is this is a defensive end in the first round with the Cincinnati Bengals, okay? This is being said by somebody in and around the Texas A&M staff that this is in play. Is this just a leverage play, or could this be serious? But what I'm most interested in, is there any rule that prohibits this from actually happening? Is there a rule in place in the National Football League, or obviously there's no rule that matters in the NCAA right now, but is there something in the NFL CBA that would preclude him from doing this? The only other thing that I can recall that's even in the vicinity is in the old days, they used to do the supplemental draft, and that's how Bernie got to the Browns. Was he declared after the draft so that he could kind of engineer his way to the Browns. And so I've seen that before, the supplemental thing, but we've never had this be possible until now, where they're not ineligible because they're all pro athletes.
Does the team, by drafting him, own his NFL rights? Like, could he go to the USFL?
The way that to answer that question, I don't know from the NFL side of things, but in the NBA side of things, like, you retain the rights for a year. And in baseball, they do this. Like Major League Baseball, they will leverage, you can leverage school against the draft. And a lot of times it'd be right up until the start of the year before, is he going to go pro or is he going to come back? Like that type of thing. I remember dealing with that at Florida State quite a bit. It's a wild thing, though.
I mean, that would be... I don't want to speak too out of turn here, but it wouldn't be great for the Bengals if that were to be the case.
It would be brutal for them.
If your first-round pick played somewhere else in 2025. If the 17th overall selection was playing football in the fall, not for the Cincinnati Bengals.
And in college.
Or if he's playing for Texas A&M, because then does that reset...
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's anything in any of the CBA that would speak to this, because it's never been an issue. This has never been a possibility.
And that was the thing, like Shamar not needing to sign his contract until he was happy with it, because NIL money was there for him. He didn't need the NFL's money right now. Doesn't need it right now.
It's a different negotiation, isn't it? In the old days, the NFL would hold the carrot of, well, here's all the money you've been working for. Well, they've already got the money. Now, it'll be more in the NFL for sure, but Shamar was at A&M. They pay well. I promise you, he's not hurting. So he could. I don't see anything, and this story's been out for about 12 hours now. I haven't seen anybody say that he couldn't do this. All I hear is this stuff like Conway's reporting here, which I'm sure is true, that if he's from Texas, he's working out down there. It's not, she's presenting it like nothing to see here. And maybe it's not. But I also haven't seen anything concrete that says that there's a rule in either college athletics and it would have to come from the NFL, that would preclude him from doing this? And if so, the precedent set here would be wild, because essentially what you could do as a junior eligible quarterback especially, you could say, I'll go pro so long as this team doesn't pick me. Let's say there was a team, let's say Arch Manning did it next year. It says, I'll go pro, but if fill-in-the-blank team is drafting number 1, I'm not going there. I'll just go back to Texas. That's the thing that jumps into my head when I see a story like this.
Well, and that's the nice thing about NIL now is like, yeah, you can kind of do that. Like, you're still going to get paid for Arch if he doesn't. If you see a team is playing so bad in the NFL that, yeah, they're going to be the number 1 pick, and you don't want to go to that franchise, you don't want to go to that city, you can still make money in college making NIL, then, yeah, come back for another year.
Yeah. This story's been out for 12 hours. I have not seen a single instance where somebody says, yeah, this isn't going to work with the CBA. Go ahead, Reese.
So this is from Jason Owen of Yahoo Sports, where if this stalemate between Stewart and the Bengals extends beyond training camp and into the season, the two sides would have until the Tuesday after Week 10 to sign a contract, or Stewart wouldn't be eligible to play in 2025 if they don't reach a deal before next year's draft. Stewart would become eligible to enter his name into the 2026 draft. Any team but the Bengals will be eligible to select him in that scenario. So he could.
That's a big one.
Redeclare my senior season. I'm back. Texas A&M. Here's the Players Tribune article. I missed College Station so much.
Yeah.
Play out the season. Week 10 passes. We don't have the contract. Okie dokie.
And he could go right back in.
Right back into the pot.
And of course, it's the Bengals that are going to be the guinea pig for this.
I think I am going to say that'd be catastrophic. I was hesitant to use such a large word involved with this, but
dude,
if that scenario that I just laid out, that's catastrophic. If pick number 17 in 2025 is not playing for you the year after he's drafted.
And that he's playing college football instead.
Ever.
And that you get no compensation.
He's not playing for you ever, and you get nothing.
And you get nothing. Yeah.
They'll have more pie for Trey.
They will. Yeah. Something to bear watching, though. Yesterday it dropped. It was kind of out there, and you're seeing people catch up on it. And you saw this report from Yahoo that Reese just mentioned, but I've seen nothing that would lead me to believe that he can't do this and use it as leverage. And it seems like that's what he's doing. All right, we have a brand new Yellowstone National Park Bureau Chief. He will join us in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, as Care grew over the years, you had many opportunities to sell Care to one of the big conglomerates that are buying companies all over Central Ohio. So tell our customers why you decided to keep Care in the family.
After talking about Care's values for over 30 years, I couldn't bear the thought of Care becoming the kind of company I was warning our customers about. I know the two of you will continue to treat our customers as I would, with honesty and integrity.
We will, Dad. In 2024, Care was awarded a BBB Torch Award for Ethics and was named the Lennox Partner of the Year. You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
We've all got our daydreams, right? Little things, big things, things you know one day you'll do. Then out of nowhere, cancer. And all your plans don't change a bit. I would know. I'm about to jump out of an airplane with my dad. Our first time skydiving solo. And my second year since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health. All right, Dad, let's go. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and at Toyota West, we're having our biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're searching for. And during our Go Forth sales event, every pre-owned vehicle is discounted and comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty. At Toyota West, you don't have to choose between a great experience and a great price. We deliver both. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The friends are the guests and listeners. Reeser and Baker just work here.
Back to work. Back to work. Everybody, work, 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 work.
You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
This is a very exciting moment, monumental moment for the show. We like to have bureau chiefs spotted all throughout this great country of ours, and we found one. We found a Yellowstone National Park bureau chief. He is the pride of Wayzata High School. Threes, how you living, Threes? Where are you at, brother?
Oh, I'm in Big Sky, man. I'm in Big Sky out here, living the dream. You can't see, you can't see Lone Peak Mountain. The clouds are down over it right now. Nice and early in the morning, 8:31. But a little sleep in today. You have the early flight to get out here a couple days ago. Nothing like a 4 a.m. wake up call to get your oldest two daughters to the airport. Through Midway, which was elite, nice place to have a layover, a lot of lounging space in Midway, and then you get out here, you got another hour drive down to Big Sky. But yesterday was another early morning, get up at 5 and got to get to West Yellowstone for the tour, and away we went. So a little sleep in this morning.
What did you see animal wise at the West Yellowstone in the tour?
Man, the only thing we saw was a ton of bison. When we came back in 2019. Unless you come frequently, I feel like the bear sightings are rare.
Very.
But, when we saw one even a couple of years ago, well, I guess 2019 wasn't really a couple of years ago, but it was a traffic jam. So you fell into it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like one of the lookout spots. People were and the bear was kind of down with its cubs. The black bear was quite a bit of ways. But we had probably at one of the turnouts, as they're called, there was probably a bison laying down 25 yards from the pavement, just basking in the sun, just basking in the sun. But we probably saw about 40 to 50 of those overall, which are always, exciting. And anytime, I feel like any one of those turnouts, if you've ever been to Yellowstone or even, through Big Sky, you could pull over every quarter mile at those turnouts and just take another picture for for your wallpaper. Yeah. It's incredible. The scenery is insane. And we also saw some elk, but besides that, that was really it. But it still was an elite day.
I try to explain to people who go down there that Big Sky isn't Bozeman, and that this is the other thing. It's really remarkable the growth that they've had in that Big Sky area, as Threes, because on that road you're on, it can't get wider. It's in a canyon, it's against a river. There's nowhere else for it to go. There's one way in and one way out of that place. No, and the river winds, as you're driving down, it goes from the left side of you to the right side of you to the left side of you, and it's like you're just taking turns on which way. And as a driver, I mean, if you're, I could totally see if you're a local, you're like, okay, you see this every day, you know what I mean? And you'll peek around, but if you're a tourist, it's like the worst job is driving because you have to pay attention to the winding of the road. Yes. If you want to look around, at the river, you want to see the rapids, you want to see, is there anything walking alongside the river? And the next thing you know, those rumble strips hit and you're like, all right, there's a reason why there's a lot of, why there's a lot of little white crosses next to the road. And I can't imagine. I mean, you get an ice storm or snow. I can't imagine trying to drive those. That's what I say when you and I were texting last night, and you were talking about the fondness for that place from the great Cersei, and I'm like, well, have her fly into Bozeman and drive from Bozeman to Big Sky in February, and then see how crazy you are about it, because that road is insane.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Imagine that, and I mean, and as you know, you really just feel like at any given moment you can see anything. You know what I mean? And it really is which was why obviously we love to vacation here, is the fact that you look out your window and you're seeing just for the most part, and Big Sky has grown a lot since we came, in 2019, but it's still the drive down. And then as you go out toward the ranches, it's pretty incredible. And so what we did, Bo, is that we decided that when one of our kids turns 10, we'll let them choose a spot in the United States.
Love that.
To kind of go trip. And since we have a 10-year age gap between Little Mav and London, it's like you get to bring one sibling. You know what I mean? So
nice.
London and Hayden will get to go together when Hayden turns 10. I mean, who knows what she'll pick? It's changed back and forth from Hawaii to New York, and then she said Disney. We said absolutely not. We've already been there twice, and we're never going back. No, it's like, you're as you go around, it's pretty cool. So London loves to ride horses, and so today we will go over to a 320 Ranch, and they have a trail side. You'll go, up the mountain, down the Gallatin, and then they do a open fire kind of steak and potatoes, all the fixins and s'mores by the fire, and then you come on back. So it'll be a pretty great afternoon and evening.
That's so awesome, buddy. How important is it for you guys? I talk about this all the time. And look, no one's going to feel. You guys you're chasing your dreams. You get to coach football for a living at Ohio State. Like that's about as cool a job as can be. But that job has never been more on demand. And I know Ryan's a big proponent of this, and all you guys on the staff of like when you have moments, and there aren't many of them, but when you get them, you really need to just unplug because this thing's coming quick. I mean, we're a couple weeks and we're going to be ready to go here, pal.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're back in the office officially on Monday. So it's like you really what happens, Bo, is you have to find those days, sometimes they're hours. You have to really try to – and I've learned lessons, over the last few years on kind of how to manage it all. And there have been times that you've taken phone calls around your family to where – you're like, well, looking back, maybe I should have taken those phone calls. You know what I mean? Because it didn't pan out in the recruiting side of it. And so you just have to be very specific. So I'm finding out that you have to really narrow down your energy to kind of focus it on the right people, on the right guys, and then the right moments. And so it's really hard. Like anyone that says to you, hey, you're going to be able to balance everything and it's going to be a nice equal wheel, it's impossible in college football because the expectation is you're always on and you're always available for every single recruit when they call, which is just part of the job. And I'm not saying anything new, but it's impossible to have a perfectly balanced wheel when you're in this profession. So you try to take these moments when you got them, to take vacations and have special trips and stuff like that. But I think also it's in the day-to-day. How do you manage even maybe those lazy mornings, and by lazy mornings, I mean, hey, you're in the building at 10 a.m. on a Sunday. How do you manage those few minutes in the morning on a Sunday? Or, how do you manage like a Thursday evening or something like that during the season?
How did you guys get the leaders on this team that were our substantial players to, it feels like they maybe kind of, kind of came to this thing of like, hey, what happened like to be able to like, hey, that was fun, but let's flush it. This team didn't accomplish anything. To me, that's an incredible thing to get guys to flip like that.
Well, I think what we thankfully have is we have a lot of guys that got to experience all that, Bo, but they weren't the driving guys that everyone was looking to. Like when you look at our team meeting room that first time after the national championship, and you saw all the people in the first two rows that were gone, and we kind of had this moment of when we had everyone back, for that last meeting, it was kind of like, hey, everyone that's going to be gone, get up and get in front of the room. And then coach had everyone else move forward, to the front row. So like you might have been in the third row with all of the leaders we had and seniors and guys who left, right? And then all of a sudden you're in the third row, meaning you're a younger player, and now you're in that front row. And so what's that mean? When you're in the third row, I mean, I'm trying to learn how to become a college football player, a leader, all these things, right? And I'm looking up to guys like Cody Simon, who's like the ultimate leader in my eyes, Jack Sawyer, another one, right? And you're looking up to all those guys in the front row. And then all of a sudden now it's like those guys are looking towards you. And that's different. That's a whole different thing, right? And so we had to learn through spring ball, I think, how to get through some youth in some of those areas. And there'll continue to be some things in fall, I'm sure. But they have a real life example that they got to live through with the guys that they played with, right? So they have the benefit of the doubt of having that because it's easier to catch leadership, right? Like you can feel what leadership is when you're around it. So a lot of times when you feel it that way versus being told what it is, over and over, I think that's very beneficial for our roster.
You and I used to always tease about all I want to do is be the linebacker coach at Montana State. Did you have a chance to take in the facilities in Bozeman of the mighty Montana State Bobcats? They can't get over the hump. They can get right to the national championship game, but they keep losing to those North Dakota schools threes. It's not great.
When we landed and we drove through. Obviously, went from the Bozeman airport. We went and got lunch. I don't even remember where we ate. It was like somewhere that we kind of tried to look up. And I sent you the picture after we'd already eaten lunch.
Oh, yeah, because I wanted you to go to the Rock and R Bar.
Your local, yeah. I'm sorry I didn't get to go to your local watering hole. But we went, and I'm like, where's the stadium as we drive down to Big Sky? And so I just had to take a picture next to the Bobcat and send it to you. But, I mean, it's crazy as we, it's such a pristine setting out here. And it's funny though. Like when you when you drive around, you're like, where do they even go out and recruit? It's got to be just a ton of Montana boys, isn't it? Like, I mean, it's like that's got to be just the pride of the state. And then obviously I played with a kid from the University of Montana, and Chase Reynolds, who was a running back, and he was a special teams guy for us for a while. And the Grizz, I mean, that's super far away. I mean, how far is Missoula from Bozeman?
3+.
Yeah.
3+. Yeah. Depending on the traffic. Yeah. I mean, not much traffic. You're going to go 80 miles an hour, so hell, you might be able to get there in 2.5.
It's the best thing, honestly. Like when you go into like the Western states, when you're in like Montana and this is for the speed limit 80 miles per hour, you're like, that's elite. It's the same thing in Nebraska. You land in Omaha and you drive to Lincoln, sure, yeah, 80, so and you can see a cop from 4 miles away in Nebraska because there ain't nothing.
There ain't nothing. No, that means the locals are going 89. That's cruising. Yeah. Cruising speed.
Yeah, well, they do that in Columbus now, too. Like, there's a legit speeding problem in the world. Like here in Columbus, you're like, I'm pretty sure 270 is still, like, 65. No, you drive to work in the morning, you put the cruise control on 75 sometimes, and it's like there are people just flying by you, and you're like, okay, well, I guess this is where we're at in society. Let's just go. Grand Theft Auto.
I'm going to get you out of here on this one. What is the one meal, drink, or experience you've either done or are going to do that you're most excited for or will be most excited for?
So over at well, tonight's going to be incredible. I've never had like a full like steak over, a fire outside and stuff. Not me. What are we doing? But Lone Mountain Ranch has a place called Horn and Cantle that we went to last night, and we went there back in 2019 as well. I know no idea that's what the restaurant was called, but we as you pull up to the ranch, like it's a functioning ranch. Like they do like rodeos on the ranch on like Tuesday nights and all that, and they just have all the horses out front, and you can you see like the carriages, and you're like, man, this place must be magical, in the winter. They have all the cabins, and they have two, open bonfires going with free s'mores, for the kids and all that. But
beautiful.
To be able to, when you go into that dinner and, you have obviously the massive bison head, and you have the bobcat that's stuffed on the wall, and then you have a moose head stuffed on, and you're like, okay, and it's all out of like, the whole thing is built out of local wood, right? All these pines, they build everything out of these pines. And then you sit down for a meal, and you're like, okay, are we getting the bison, strip? Are we getting the bison short rib? Are we getting the? I think Hayden got the elk meatball, which I was shocked that she was willing to go outside the comfort zone and get an elk meatball. But it was it's incredible. If you haven't had elk, out here,
so good.
Like it's the only place I've ever had elk, but it's so good. It's so good.
We don't have them. We don't have them in Dublin. There aren't any elk running. I don't know what the hell's going on. We got to get some.
No, there's not. No, there's not. We got a couple of young deer in the backyard. That's about it. A couple of young deer that pop out in and now again. But it's all right.
All right, brother. Enjoy the motherland, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks when we're live from camp.
I was looking for your billboard. I was looking for a billboard. Proud home of Bo Bishop.
Sad.
It's kind of like Free used to say to me all the time. Free used to say, hey, when I was in college, he used to be like, hey, when you drive through Huber Heights down 70 to see your brother, like, look for my billboard, the home of Marcus Freeman. I'm like, they still don't have one. Still. I'm like, you're head coach Notre Dame. They still don't have one.
Still? They still can't get him one. Come on, man.
They still don't have a billboard that says home of M3. What are we talking about?
All right, brother. Be well. Good talking to you.
All right, buddy. Yeah.
There he goes. Threes on the Brian Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline from Big Sky Country, new Yellowstone National Park Bureau Chief. Time for a little thing or not a thing coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
When you speed, you have less time to react. Follow the speed limit to keep other road users safe. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota of Columbus. Summer is the perfect time to gear up in a new truck from Germain Toyota of Columbus. Right now, drive home the 2025 Toyota Tundra with 1.99 APR for 72 months, or take command of the 2024 Toyota Tacoma, also just 1.99 APR for 72 months. Get power, performance, and unbeatable savings, all at Germain Toyota, located at 5711 Scarborough Boulevard on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road. Shop online anytime at germaintoyota.net.
It's July in Central Ohio. The grills are hot, the sun is hotter, and chances are you've seen a Newman roofing truck rolling through your neighborhood. Maybe you've talked to one of our team members at a local event or know someone who proudly says, yeah, I've got a Newman roof. At Newman Roofing, we're more than just a roofing company. We're your neighbors. And for the last 33 years, your support has helped us grow as a family-owned business. So we give back the best way we know how. With quality work, lasting relationships, and a lifetime workmanship warranty that means you'll never be left out in the rain. Thousands of families across Central Ohio have trusted us and had their expectations exceeded. And it's why we've been voted Best Roofing Company and Best of the Bus magazine for 4 years running now. So this summer, don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Open a money market account at Kemba Financial Credit Union and enjoy a 4.00% APY intro rate until April 2026, 6 times the national average. Maintain easy access to your funds and secure financial stability. Don't miss out. Offer expires July 31st, 2025. Visit Kemba.org. Restrictions apply. Advantage status and $5,000 minimum and $1 million maximum deposit required. APY equals annual percentage yield. Comparison based on FDIC average. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. Did you know their co-founders are Ohio natives? Yeah. Window Nation has been replacing windows in the Columbus region for over 15 years. Not only does Window Nation know what windows work best for Ohio homeowners like you, they're also local to the area. And right now, you can take advantage of Window Nation's biggest sale of the year. Get 50% off all window styles, plus 0 interest for 5 whole years. You heard that right. With Window Nation, you won't pay any interest until 2030. Plus, they'll install your new windows in 1 day or less, so you can get back to your daily routine right away. Personally, I wouldn't procrastinate. You don't want to wait on this deal. It's a trustworthy company like Window Nation, getting your windows in 1 day or less. 50% off all window styles now, plus 0 interest until 2030 with Window Nation. Call them up, 866-90NATION, or visit windownation.com to get your free quote on replacement windows. 866-90NATION or windownation.com. And tell them T-Bone sent you.
Enough of your favorite fan content? Good news, we're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
The countdown is on. Save the date because Diamonds Direct's Designer Summer Sale kicks off this Monday, July 21st with 20% off the entire store. Engagement rings, diamond studs, fashion jewelry, and more. Want early access? Book your appointment now because the best pieces go fast. Don't miss the jewelry event of the season next week only at Diamonds Direct and designer appearances July 25th through 27th. Top designers from New York and LA with their exclusive collections. Visit diamondsdirect.com to book your appointment and start saving.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. The final season of Yellowstone might just be Bo's dad live on YouTube. What's the difference anyway? This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a First Friday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
British Open starts tomorrow morning out at Royal Portrush. Scotty Scheffler's paired with Shane Lowry and Colin Morikawa for their first 2 rounds. That group will go tomorrow morning at 5:09 a.m. Eastern Time. The world's number 1 golfer had a press conference yesterday that I'm only going to describe as depressing.
Why do I want to win the Open Championship so badly? I don't know. Because if I win, it's going to be awesome for about 2 minutes. And then we're going to get to the next week, and it's going to be like, hey, you won 2 majors this year. How important is it for you to win the FedEx Cup playoffs? And it's just like, we're back here again, you know? So we really do. We work so hard for such little moments, and, you know, I'm kind of a sicko. I love putting in the work. I love being able to practice. I love getting out to live out my dreams. But at the end of the day, sometimes I just don't understand the point.
Thing or not a thing?
I thought it was a sad thing. That's what I thought, Reese. It's a long answer. It's kind of a rambling 5-minute answer. I actually watched the whole thing. It's incredibly candid, so I tip my hat to him on that for giving you the real truth on it. But I also just kind of felt bad. It was like, boy, are we at a point? And then I started to think, like, big picture is because he's, a generation younger than me. Is that generation one that because of the now what's next on-demand world, they're not enjoying their own successes enough? And that's kind of what I came away with. Like, boy, you win the Masters and you can avoid it or you can enjoy it for 2 minutes. That's a problem. And I felt bad for him. I really did. Is kind of what I appreciated the candor, and it was an incredible window into one of the best to ever swing a golf club. But at the same time, like, man, that sucks that's his reality.
Yeah, it is definitely weird coming from the best player on the planet, probably the best player since Tiger. I mean, just with this run that he's on. And I don't know how much to take from it, but we saw him at the PGA Championship after he won, slamming his hat on the green in excitement. But, like, I have seen some of these ceremonies after major championships. Like, I've watched the Open when they receive the claret jug. They walk out of the tunnel and then they answer. They say thanks to the crowd, answer a few questions, and then, all right, see ya.
Yeah.
I just saw this on Twitter. Alabama offensive tackle Caden Proctor was speaking at SEC Media Days in Atlanta. He's 6'7", 360 pounds, and says he owns 170 bottles of cologne. Quote, if you're a big guy, you can't stink. You got to be fresh. The narrative is that a big guy stinks, end quote. Thing or not a thing?
So Caden Proctor is my 13-year-old then? Because
that's like five of your 13-year-olds stacked together?
He's got a lot of them. He's got a lot of cologne. It's kind of the thing. He's the kid who started at Alabama, then went back to Iowa for like spring ball, right? And then went back to Alabama. Do I have that right with him?
Correct.
He's an Iowa kid. Yeah. What a wild. That's a lot of cologne, man. That's what I told like NBC when he kept asking for it for like Christmas and birthday. I'm like, you're never going to have to buy cologne again.
It's 170 more than I have.
This is going to last you for the rest of your life. You'll never go out of this cologne.
Yeah, I get told that I wear a lot of cologne. So, I mean, great for him. Wanting to smell good. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, that is a lot, though.
It's a lot.
I've never smelled you at work, Jacob, so I can't confirm.
It's from my wife every time she walks past me at home.
24 hours after reaching a long-term extension with Garrett Wilson, the Jets rewarded Sauce Gardner with a 4-year, $120.4 million deal. That contract includes $85.6 million guaranteed. The two-time All-Pro becomes the NFL's highest-paid cornerback based on average salary per year at $30.1 million. He surpasses Derek Stingley Jr., who the Texans drafted one spot ahead of Gardner in 2022. Houston gave Derek Stingley a 3-year, $90 million extension back in March. Thing or not a thing?
Really smart thing for the Jets. They got both Gardner and Garrett Wilson done within a week. They got them done at essentially the exact same number. They got them done ahead of schedule. Both guys just finished their third year, going into their fourth, so they avoid any sort of holdouts or anything like that. So it's just really good job of the Jets. Also pretty amazing. Like, as bad as the Jets have been, they had a draft that in one first round netted them Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson. That's a pretty damn good job of drafting.
I guess I didn't realize or forgot that they were in the same draft class. That is insane. Yeah, good thing for them. They're being smart for once and going after and retaining their young talent when they can. That's awesome.
During his introduction yesterday at SEC Media Days, Texas head coach Steve Sarkisian walked out to the podium to Texas A&M's fight song. Greg Sankey says that it was not a deliberate thing. It was just an accident. Thing or not a thing?
Do you believe him? Or do you think he was trolling Texas A&M because they beat him?
You think Sark set that up?
Hard for me to believe that they would mess that up.
Or just hoping they get a comment as it's happening from Sark to kind of add juice to the revamped rivalry.
He said nothing. He just opened it.
Yeah.
He said
He just went
appreciate
right to
being here. Love being at SEC Media Days.
I didn't even hear it. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know that I believe Sankey on that. I think Jake might be onto something like talking points, right? SEC's big on those for media days. That would track a little bit.
Just real quick, for the 18th year in a row, Boise State was picked to win the Mountain West in the preseason media poll. Thing or not a thing?
Thing for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's been one of the more consistent programs with different coaches. God bless them. God bless them in their blue turf, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Can they be good enough this year to where we get a home playoff game for them? That'd be so cool.
Boy, that would
be electric. It would take an incredible season for sure. Yeah. I know that, but didn't
they get the bye last year? They got one of the byes, right?
Yeah, they did. They were better than what would have been Clemson and SMU.
Yeah, so they got one of those byes. All right, 20 most interesting continues. Probably the biggest adversary roadblock nationally, the Georgia Bulldogs. Will they reload? What will they be? How big of a challenge will they be? Is this certainly a program you have to pay attention to if you're a Buckeye fan? We will do the Dogs coming up next. Final hour, Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Question from a listener: do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Chad.
Hi, I'm Chad. I've been taking the low T treatment at Tri-State Men's Health for a little under a year now. So I was really just struggling with finding the energy to accomplish the things I wanted to do every day. By the end of the workday, I was very drained and tired and found it hard to concentrate and get my job done, and was looking for something to kind of get that edge back. Once I started taking the treatment, I felt probably within the first 2 to 3 weeks more energy. And the thing that really I noticed right away was sleeping. Now I get a solid 8 hours. I'm going on vacation. I'm enjoying myself. So men out there, if you're struggling with any of the symptoms I was, low energy, brain fog, lack of sleep, I would highly recommend you call Tri-State Men's Health. You won't regret it.
Thanks, Chad. It's true. Low T therapy will likely change your life. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Friday, July 25th is Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair. Visit the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, the Department of Insurance, and other state agency booths. Come learn about mental health resources available to you and to your family. Join us on Friday, July 25th for Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Master Grillers Unite.
The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated.
Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Irish Adventure awaits at the Dublin Irish Festival August 1st through 3rd in Dublin, Ohio. Voted 2025 USA Today Best Cultural Festival in the nation. This year promises 3 incredible days of Irish music, dance, food, and fun. Enjoy unique Irish experiences as you explore one of the top festivals in the U.S., drawing over 90,000 guests to Dublin, Ohio each year. Get your tickets at DublinIrishFestival.org before July 20 to save.
It's a different world today than it was 30 years ago when I started Care Heating and Cooling. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, 30 years ago, you were the first to warn of companies using service technicians as salespeople, of abusing the trust that a service technician has. With the big conglomerates now buying companies all over Central Ohio, this has become the normal business model.
It's all about greed. The conglomerates know they can make a lot more money by incentivizing their technicians to sell air conditioners instead of fixing them. They train their techs to take advantage of a customer when they are the most vulnerable.
Dad, that is not how we were taught. In 2024,
Care Heating and Cooling was awarded a BBB Torch Award for ethics and was named the Lennox Partner of the Year. You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos. Fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. The National Hockey League will unveil the entire 2025-2026 regular season schedule today at 1 p.m. Earlier this morning, the Blue Jackets announced their home opener is Monday, October 13th. The official opponent is TBD, but reports have the Jackets hosting the New Jersey Devils for that first game at Nationwide. Jackets will play in Nashville against the Predators on Thursday, October 9th. That could be the first game of the year for the CBJ, as the NHL's regular season starts with a triple-header on Tuesday, October 7th. In soccer tonight, the Columbus Crew look to build off their 4-2 win over FC Cincinnati. Black and Gold are in the Music City tonight versus Nashville SC at 8:30. Columbus and Nashville are tied with 41 points. That's good for third in the East. The Crew are back at Lower.com Field Saturday versus DC United. And baseball's regular season resumes Friday. The Guardians host the Athletics. The Reds are at the Mets. You can hear Cincinnati baseball and breaking sports news when it happens all on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Distilled sports discussion served in light beer quantities. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on a First Friday. Get your officially endorsed coming up at the end of the program. Time now, though, for 20 most interesting, the Georgia Dogs.
As college football draws near, Bishop and Friends present the 20 most interesting programs. Spoiler alert, Rutgers isn't one of them.
No, it's the Georgia Dogs. 10 years now for Kirby Smart in Athens, his alma mater. I remember him as a GA at Florida State with Bobby Bowden years ago, about 20 years ago now. He was also spent some time at Valdosta State, but he was a Georgia guy. He got hooked up with Saban, and then he was one of the really smart ones that didn't leave until it was perfect. And it's his alma mater. He was at the feet of Saban for a long time, and as Saban was getting a little long in the tooth, the Georgia job came open. He pounced on it. I spent a lot of time covering Georgia high school football, and most people in that state thought that this is what Georgia should be. That Georgia should be what they've been under Smart the last 9 seasons. 2 national titles, 3 SEC titles, but that's not what they were. For the longest time, they were the doormat for the University of Florida. Through the Spurrier-Urban era, they almost never lost. The University of Florida almost never lost to Georgia during those 2 tenures of those men. You got to go all the way back to Vince Dooley with that national championship with Herschel Walker. So they just don't have a lot of this greatness. But what they do have now is the perfect coach at the perfect place at his alma mater, a population that is a boom town that has benefited tremendously from the population shift to the south. Georgia's benefited greatly from that. They have probably as passionate of high school football following as you will see in the country. There is player after player that comes out of there. If you did like an all NFL team made of just kids who played high school football in Georgia, it would go toe to toe with Texas or Florida or Ohio or California. It is a absolute gold mine, and he's the perfect guy at the perfect place. Last year they went 11-3, finished 6-2 in the SEC. They lost to Notre Dame in the college football playoff. They did so without Carson Beck, who injured himself, I want to say, in the SEC title game. And they were really never the same. Gunnar Stockton stepped in. It'll be his team now. They were incredibly aggressive in the portal. The headliner here is Zachariah Branch, the USC wide receiver. He steps into place and is going to be a big-time playmaker there. They got Josh McCray from Illinois. He's going to be a backup running back there. So they were pretty aggressive in the portal. They always recruit. He's the only guy that could kind of go toe-to-toe with Saban in recruiting. Like, they could go and they would get wins. And over his 9 years there, a lot of times they have the number one recruiting class in the country. That's something that Bama kind of had on lock for most of Saban's tenure. But Kirby was able to do it. He was able to do it by leaning on that Georgia high school talent in a very, very big way. I think if you do big picture stuff and you're saying, like, all right, who are the programs who can go toe-to-toe with you and fist to fist with you in a slugfest on all facets of a program, the ones that come to mind to me are Georgia and Texas. They're the two that I look at because I don't know what's going to happen with Kalen DeBoer at Alabama. He's set up for this year, but to me, this Georgia situation with Kirby, Sark at Texas, Ryan here at Ohio State, these are the three programs that are going to be able to recruit it, spend it, and maintain it at just an elite level. To me, they're the safest bet in college football is Georgia, Texas, Ohio State. And Georgia's even, I mean, Texas, we're being generous putting Texas in that category because they haven't won it, but they've knocked on the door, and it feels like they're going to continue to. But this is a program that you look across from and say, yeah, they're very similar to what we have, and they have a coach that's very similar to ours that just wins a lot.
Yeah, their 4 marquee SEC games have 3 of them in Athens. So on the 13th, they're going to be at Tennessee, 13th of September. So this feels like a Georgia schedule that's pretty navigable for the Bulldogs, and their one real missing piece last season was an explosive offensive playmaker. You didn't have Brock Bowers. You didn't have the wide receiver whose name's escaping me. For Carson Beck, it was, I don't have the kind of talent that I'm used to, and so you saw a little bit more of his flaws. Then, of course, he gets injured. Gunnar Stockton comes in, and it's the same deal. And so unlike Penn State, and I think it still remains to be seen with Clemson, their need was a deep threat. So Zachariah Branch comes in from USC, who everybody and their grandma were in on. I think the Branch twins. I think there's another branch that Georgia has on their team, but this now for Gunnar Stockton, you have a deep threat. And we just saw the Philadelphia Eagles take a Georgia defensive front and win a Super Bowl with them. So that's going to be a place that will be their strength every single year. And so if those two things can be put together, McCray adds to a deeper running back room. This Georgia team feels more armed and fully operational than last season. But it all relies on Gunnar Stockton, who we don't know much about. No. Like every other quarterback, it feels like in the Power 5, we don't, outside of Klubnik, Aller, we don't know.
But they've done this before. And I don't know Stockton's pedigree in the sense of, I know he wasn't like a 5-star guy.
No.
But you think about Stetson Bennett, you think even before that, Jake Fromm, they've had the 5-star quarterback guys, and sometimes that isn't what they need or want. So if they can win it a certain way, and you're right on the schedule's still brutal. They still have to play Alabama, Texas, and Ole Miss this year, but they're all at home. Last year, all of those games are on the road. They played all of those teams last year, and all of them were on the road, and now they're all at home. It does feel to me like they are a team that you're just going to have to deal with always. As long as Kirby's there, you're going to have to deal with them. To me, Jake, they feel like there's never going to be a situation where they're not a top 10 team as long as he's there.
Yeah, absolutely. He's put himself in that category, in that conversation, to where if he is on the sidelines, they're always going to be in it. They're always going to have a chance because of the great mind that he is, the great developer that he is of the talent, because he's just going after the freshman ranks. But yeah, I mean, to the schedule, it's exactly, you would think that Sankey would give his most recent national champion a benefit of the doubt, giving them the gauntlet that they had last year, going all on the road for their big games. Now that seems like they're all at home. I'm very interested for when Arch has to go to Athens for that Texas game.
Oh, geez. I mean, that game is
going to be huge.
November 17th. I mean,
a lot will be on it. Maybe the SEC championship game implications, playoff seeding for sure.
Yeah. They are kind of, if you do the game of like, all right, how many SEC teams are getting in? And we're in the middle of this because it's SEC Media Week, and so we're doing a lot of these SEC teams. But we did LSU yesterday, and they feel like and I understand the jokes, like, everyone down there is going to make the playoff, and that's what they all think they're entitled to. Well, that's not going to be the case. But if there's 4, then how many losses can you take? So if you're Texas and you lose the opener here, you can probably lose one more, and that's it. And you're right, Jake. The timing of the Texas game is pretty dicey. All the way that late into November to play Georgia, Texas is wild.
I also forgot that clean old-fashioned hate went to 8 overtimes last year, with Georgia Tech winning in that one.
Georgia Tech beat Georgia?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Georgia won that game in Athens in 8 overtimes, 44-42.
Yeah, that would have been the end of it. Had they lost that one, that would have been the end of it. But yeah, I mean, they're set up. They're set up to be there. And I think Kirby. I think if you got, we're now entering year 2 post Nick Saban. To me, it's a Kirby Smart, Ryan Day college football. And Sark is trying to knock down that door and get into that conversation. And Dabo's kind of like, he's like sheriff. Like trying to still be able to maintain his town. He's got like one more good gunfight in him. That's what Dabo feels like to me, because they're not going to be maintaining it in recruiting. You can tell. So like this might be Clemson's last shot. So it's a Kirby Smart, Ryan Day college football right now. They've stepped in where Saban and Urban left off, and they've thrived. And it's those 2 programs at the top, with Texas trying to find their way into it. But this Georgia operation is going nowhere. I mean, they're going to be a team to reckon with for the foreseeable future. They're just so comprehensive in what they do, and such a worthy adversary with Ohio State and Georgia at the very, very top of the sport. We'll hit the categories on the Georgia Dogs coming up next. John Michaels, host of The Locker Room on 680 The Fan in Atlanta, going to give us some perspective on the Dogs coming up at 11:30. If they are as buttoned up as they appear to be from here, we'll get those details from him. That's all coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself, or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See? We didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
The countdown is on. Save the date, because Diamonds Direct's Designer Summer Sale kicks off this Monday, July 21st, with 20% off the entire store. Engagement rings, diamond studs, fashion jewelry, and more. Want early access? Book your appointment now, because the best pieces go fast. Don't miss the jewelry event of the season, next week only at Diamonds Direct, and designer appearances July 25th through 27th. Top designers from New York and LA with their exclusive collections. Visit diamondsdirect.com to book your appointment and start saving.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here to let you know that Clayton Homes Sign and Save Sales event is going on now. Right now, you can save up to $5,000 instantly on your home purchase at Clayton Homes. Get the luxury, quality, and style you want in a beautiful, affordable home with energy-efficient features to fit your budget. Clayton Homes is changing the way homes are built. The craftsmen at Clayton build their homes in state-of-the-art facilities that help protect your new home from the elements during the construction process and just in time for summer. Get a home equipped with energy-smart features for year-round comfort and savings. Check out their fully furnished new home models and see all the options available to create the perfect home. With many floor plans to choose from, Clayton Homes is certain they can help you find the home you've been looking for. Visit the local Clayton Homes near you or browse their limited time deals at manufacturedhomeoffers.com to learn more. Terms and conditions for the Sign and Save event at manufacturedhomeoffers.com. Available only at participating Clayton Homes family of brands retailers through August 31st. Amount of savings may be limited. Ask for details. May not be available with certain financing. Lender restrictions apply.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Your neighborhood Kroger pharmacy is happy to welcome back Express Scripts Medicare D and TRICARE Department of Defense Plan members. It's easy to transfer prescriptions at Kroger.com/payer update. See your Kroger pharmacy for details.
Attack and dominate. Morning Juice is on YouTube and 10 TV Plus.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Join Bobby Carpenter and Tito weekdays starting at 6 or watch on demand. More Bobby, less commercials. The Fan.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use law enforcement siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you if you get a speeding ticket, it doesn't end there. You have to pay expensive fines. You can't go to your friend's wedding because that also costs money. And your insurance rates could increase. See? We didn't have to use law enforcement sirens after all. Getting a speeding ticket has consequences. Sooner or later, speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms today, some which could be stronger with gusty winds and heavy downpours. Afternoon highs will be in the upper 80s, and that mugginess is on high alert. For tonight, chances of showers and storms taper off overnight with our lows down into the 70s. And for Thursday, very similar afternoon chances of showers and thunderstorms, some that could have heavy downpours and gusty winds, highs in the upper 80s. I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo for The Fan with the 10 weather impact forecast.
The two most mature people working at the radio station, and that's just because they wear pants. The pervert and the skivvies. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan. Our top men are working on everything except this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
And my friends, I'm telling you to celebrate the red, white, and blue with unbeatable savings at my friends at RCD RV this July. Declare your independence on the open road during RCD RV's Declare Your Independence sale. It runs July 5th through the 19th, offering all-American savings on all in-stock motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers. Wave goodbye to ordinary vacations and say hello to adventure. You hear that? That's the sound of freedom, and it's calling you. Stop by any of the locations, Delaware, Heath, Pataskala. Shop them online anytime at rcdrv.com. RCD RV. Freedom starts on the open road. Time to hit the categories on the Georgia Dogs. This is a good one. There you go. Yeah. These are, you give me some trumpets, give me some horns, some brass. That's all I need. A little bit of that. That's a good job out of the Georgia Dogs. All right. NIL portal grade for Georgia. Go ahead, Jacob.
It's not great. I mean, if you were going after their freshman recruiting class, it'd be great. It's the number 2 overall class. So for portal, I mean, if we're throwing NIL with the freshman class, then I'll go
I
B.
think you are, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go B.
I'm going to give it an A. I think the retention's so important in this day and age, and I think I'm weighing it a lot on teams that if they're not active in the transfer portal, which Georgia doesn't have to be because they recruit so well, did they retain everybody? And outside of the Carson Beck, and I don't even think Carson Beck, or they probably don't think Carson Beck's a huge loss. The one thing they needed was a deep threat. They went and got Zachariah Branch from USC. They shored up their running back room, getting the Illinois running back McCray. This is an A for me for what the Bulldogs did with the transfer portal and in name, image, and likeness retention on their roster.
Yeah, I think it reminds me a little bit of what Ohio State did last year in terms of they didn't have didn't have a lot of needs, but they had specific needs, and they went and solved them. And I think much like Ohio State, they're not going to be one of these 20 portal teams. They're going to get 4 or 5, but they're going to get the ones that they want. So yeah, I think it's a very solid A. They're very organized in their recruiting and NIL and all of it. Retention, I think it all's in play. Would Buddy Garrity want to run their collective grade? Can you see Buddy in Athens, Jake?
I think I can. It's a nice scene, and you've got the Atlanta Falcons Stadium, Mercedes-Benz right in your backyard. I think he definitely would.
I think it's a B+. I think he'd do it because they're very eager to spend, boosters, alumni, etc. I don't know about the drive. Would you want to leave West Texas for Athens, Georgia? That's the only hang-up I've got.
Yeah, I think it's in the vicinity of above average. I mean, it's still the South, but Georgia is a lot different than Texas. I think you got it right. I think it's about a B. I think he would take it, but it's not like one of the Texas schools or Oklahoma, something like that. But I think he would also have to do a little bit of a Netflix model. Georgia isn't the type of operation where they have like 4 or 5 guys who pay for everything. So it's got to be kind of a subscription-based, alumni base, and I think that would be a little bit more work than, whereas like at SMU, he's talking to 3 or 4 guys, and that's easy. So I think that could make it a little bit more complicated. Campus social life grade for the other Athens.
Now, the lesser of two Athenses is...
It's not quite like the Athens just down 33, but... It's still an A. You've got everything there. You've got great football. You got great tradition. You've got a great party scene. It's an A for me.
It's a B+ for me because of everything Jacob Reimer just said. But like their biggest game isn't located in Athens. Yeah. The world's largest outdoor cocktail party. You got to go to Jacksonville.
That's true.
So outside of the city of Athens, what do you do in the rest of the year? You're boozing.
You're not far from Reynolds Plantation, so you get some lake there, and you get a little NIL. You can afford a place there. So Reynolds is pretty great, that area. Athens as a town is awesome. It's an awesome college town. It's cool. It's really cool, and I think it's probably like B+, A-. The summers would be damn near unbearable. The early falls would be damn near unbearable, but it's pretty good. I'll go B+ for Athens, Georgia. Do they wear the right uniform grade, Jake?
Yeah, it's an A. Like we were talking with LSU yesterday, it's traditional. You know what you're getting from Georgia when you see the G on the side of the helmet. I do love their black alternates when I don't think it's their typical ones, but they brought it out a few years ago where it has the dog collar on the black jersey, and it's like the outline in red around the neck, and then it's the dog collar with spikes for the bulldog. I thought that was pretty clean.
Yeah, I think it's a B+. I think they do a really good job of keeping it the same. You know, they add little tweaks like the bulldog collar, but it's a really great college football uniform.
Yeah, largely they've looked the same. There's not a whole lot of variation to it. I do think that it's a little surprising to me that they don't lean a little bit more into the black because it is a school color. They're red, black, and gray, so they have all of those things that they can kind of use. And it is strange that they don't use a black uniform a little more often because it looks very clean. It's also strange to me that they don't have an alternate pant. The only pants they have are silver. That's it.
Yeah, how would black pants look?
Right. I mean, they don't have that. They wore them once when like Champ Bailey was there, but it's been a long time. But like they wear the same thing over and over again. It's a classic look. It's not my favorite in college football, but it is instantly recognizable. So I think it's a B, but I've never looked at Georgia's uniforms and been like, those are the cleanest ones out there. Like there is something that's just a little not quite there for me on them, but I acknowledge that they are certainly iconic, and they've really never varied off of them. Which player off of this Georgia team would we want in scarlet and gray? You can pick one.
I'm not going quarterback this time. I'm switching it up. I'm going linebacker C.J. Allen. Had 76 tackles last year, 49 solo. I think he'd be a nice piece in the linebacker room.
Yeah, I'll stay on the defensive side. I think big Christian Miller, their defensive tackle, would add some depth for the Buckeyes, if not be one of their starters. Although having UGA 11 on the sideline, because that's the UGA they're at now, that'd be a lot of fun.
You guys,
maybe after August or September, though, because it'd be hot.
He knows how to deal with the heat, man. They put those bags of ice down for him. Have you guys ever been in the vicinity of Uga?
No.
Nope, I have not.
It's unbelievable, man. Like, the dude is royalty. His whole operation is royalty. Like, when they put the little doghouse on the sidelines and they get the big bag of ice and he just lays on it. I mean, it's just everything that you want. The way he's transported, it's the whole thing. It's just, he's great. He's a fantastic pup. I think you're right. I think it is C.J. Allen is the guy, Jacob. That'd be the one I would take too. But quite honestly, and this is really a tribute to what Kirby has done there, like, you kind of take anybody off their defense, pick anybody off their defensive line. Like, he figured it out pretty quickly that if you are going to win in the SEC, if you're going to win what Ohio State wins at that level, you've got to be great in the lines of scrimmage, especially on the defensive front. And I don't know, in the 9 years, going on 10 years he's been there, that I've looked at their defensive line and not thought those guys are a bunch of animals. They just are. They just one after another. You could pick any of them and you could pop them in. It's just what they do. They just have them coming in waves when it comes to the defensive line.
If I'm taking something from Kirby Smart, it's going to definitely be on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, he's just excellent at it. I mean, to your point on the Eagles, I mean, their whole operation is Georgia Bulldogs on defense. Like, he's really good at it. All-time big man on campus in Athens, Georgia.
There's definitely a lot to choose from. The most notable to me is Matthew Stafford, though. I mean, Super Bowl winning quarterback. He was great there. I feel like that would turn a lot of heads.
Champ Bailey, I think, was probably the biggest man on campus, probably with the brashest attitude. But how can you not go with the man who probably had the best time and the most success at Georgia was Stetson Bennett?
Stetson Bennett.
Walk-on quarterback, back-to-back championships.
Yeah. He's probably the correct answer for all-time big man on campus, in that he came from nothing.
Yeah, they tried to get rid of him. They got rid of him.
Yeah, and he won 2 national titles. I mean, it's crazy. I love the Stafford pick. I think the right answer is probably Stetson Bennett, but it's pretty crazy that you could say emphatically the right answer isn't Herschel Walker, and it's just because he's kind of a crazy life after football. But his freshman year at Georgia and his 3 years at Georgia are about as good as you can play college football, is what Herschel Walker did at Georgia. And the idea that, I mean, he's the best to ever play there, and probably the starting running back on the best all-time college football team. So it's hard to not have him in there. But Stetson Bennett might be the right answer. Win it all, playoff, conference championship game, respectable or chump? What are the dogs, Jacob?
It has to be win it all for them. It's Georgia. It's Kirby Smart, like we've been talking about. It has to be win it all.
Yeah, every year it feels like that's their goal. I mean, that's what this team can accomplish.
I think you're both right, and I think that there aren't many programs that we can do here. In fact, I think there's only 2 that you would apply this to, which is, what is the expectation? Win it all every year. And I think it's Georgia, and I think it's Ohio State. I think it was Alabama. I think it could be Texas, but you got to win it once first. I think the only 2 places in the country where you wake up, you go to work every day, and you say, if we don't win the national championship, we blew it. I think it's Georgia and it's Ohio State. Those are the 2. They're the healthiest programs. They're the most accomplished currently. They've won it at the highest level. That's the level that they're at. And there's a lot that comes with having to go to work and have that be the expectation you play under every single year. We'll get some perspective on these Georgia dogs from John Michaels, host of the Locker Room 680 The Fan in Atlanta. That's in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We repurpose a lot of the junk we haul away.
Donatables get donated to a family that needs them, and the recyclables get recycled.
And we have enough trucks that we can come the day you call us.
We work to help your neighbors, the planet, and you.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Friday, July 25th is Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair. Visit the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, the Department of Insurance, and other state agency booths. Come learn about mental health resources available to you and to your family. Join us on Friday, July 25th for Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair.
Yep.
bathroom's got to go. The vanity's decayed and toilet's really old. The bathtub's giving way. If Baths R Us a ring, call morning, noon, or night. You do not have to wait to get your bathroom right.
Call Baths R Us for your free estimate and enter to win our Christmas in July $12,500 bathroom remodel with an additional savings of up to $3,000 plus low to no monthly payments. 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HindererMotorCompany.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
We'll read your emails on the air, but we won't tell you where to send them. Hey, we're not doing all the work for you. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, let's get some perspective on these Georgia dogs, 20 most interesting. And for that, we head out on the Bryan Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. John Michaels joins us, host of The Locker Room, 680 The Fan in Atlanta. John, thanks so much for taking the time. I'm going through this Georgia roster and this setup and what they did in retention, what they did in NIL, year 10 for Kirby. They're kind of like one of those programs, and we deal with one of them here every day, that it's like every year, if you don't win the national championship, what happened? And I was down in that state years ago covering high school football, and it always felt like this is what the folks on that level thought was possible at the University of Georgia. And I'll be damned if Kirby Smart hasn't done it.
Yeah, it was something that when Mark Richter was here, it was so disappointing because every year, 10-2, and they'd lose to Florida. 9-3, they'd lose to Auburn. You go, okay, why is there all this talent in state? And I'd argue that Georgia's one of the top 5 high school producing states in the country, and they could never get it done. And then finally, Kirby Smart came in and said, all right, we're going to stop letting Trevor Lawrence leave. We're going to stop letting Deshaun Watson leave. We're going to find the guys in state and lock them in, and then we're going to go recruit at a nationally high level. And last year, you're absolutely right. It was national title or bust, as it is for every single year at Georgia. And there were a lot of things that went wrong a season ago that were very, very un-Kirby-like.
Yeah, there were. And I guess let's start with, and obviously this isn't of his doing, but Carson Beck gets hurt and you roll with Gunnar Stockton. But was there any effort to bring Beck back, or was that a ship that was sailed and it was, hey, good riddance, thanks for the time, we'll see you on down the road?
Yeah, I don't know that it was completely good riddance, but there wasn't a whole lot of effort bringing him back. Carson Beck originally put his name in the NFL draft, and then I think he came back with a 3rd, 4th, 5th round grade and realized, okay, I need to go back to school one more year. He ultimately transferred to Miami, who was desperate for a quarterback after Cam Ward went to the NFL draft. And I think Georgia looked and goes, you know what? This Gunnar Stockton kid kind of fits what we do a little bit more. Country kid. He still drives a 1984 Ford F-150. He's not riding around in a Lambo with an internet girlfriend that, Carson Beck had a year ago, obviously with one of the Cavender twins. There were a lot of talk, and I can't all the way substantiate, but we heard a lot of rumors that Carson may not have been the greatest teammate last year in Athens, and that a lot of guys, when they got ready for that Sugar Bowl, when they lost in the college football playoffs to Notre Dame, that they really rallied around Gunnar Stockton. Had a chance to meet Gunnar yesterday at SEC Media Days. When I say an unassuming kid, if you didn't know he was the quarterback of Georgia, you'd literally just think he was a student at Georgia and wouldn't know a whole lot. But on the field, the kid's a gamer. We saw that in the bowl game against Notre Dame. We saw it. He got knocked cuckoos for Cocoa Puff against Texas in the SEC title game and was able to come back. So hopefully they can rally behind him.
And that's kind of their type, because what you just described feels a lot like Jake Fromm, feels a lot like Stetson Bennett, like kind of unassuming. I mean, they had Justin Fields there and back, and there's a type that they kind of want, and you can do it when you have the overall talent they have, which is just immense. Their roadmap to get back to their expectations this year, what does it look like?
It's getting back to the playoffs and making a deep run. Now, the road is littered with potholes that they haven't had. Last year, if you looked at their SEC schedule, every tough game was on the road. They were at Alabama. They were at Texas. They were at Ole Miss. They did get Georgia Tech at home in the final game. Guess what? All of those teams now come to Athens. So you get Alabama early on in the season. You get Texas in what should be an absolute showdown, a revenge game against Ole Miss. The good thing in the SEC, you could lose 2 out of those 3 games, and you're probably going to make the college football playoff, and then all bets are going to be off. Taking the schedule out, I think the number one thing Georgia needs to get back to is playing Georgia football. Like, we can bang on Carson Beck all we want about maybe having a bad stretch last year, but for the most part, Carson was a good quarterback. What Georgia did not do well a season ago was run the football, which is against everything Kirby Smart thinks about. They didn't catch the football particularly well. Like, we're jealous of having Jeremiah Smith and Emeka Ibuka and Brandon Ennis and all those guys at Ohio State. Georgia led the country in drop passes a year ago, and a lot of them were giant drops. I'm talking about early in the game against Bama, you've got what's going to be a walk-in touchdown drop. First play of the game against Georgia Tech, you've got a guy wide open streaking down the sideline. He drops it. To alleviate that, they went in the transfer portal. They get a kid named Noah Thomas, who's 6'6", out of Texas A&M. And the kid that I love the most, Zachariah Branch, who's kind of that, Reggie Bush, water bug, run a jet sweep, do some motion stuff to him. You now put him in the slot. He gives Georgia something they probably haven't had since Sony Michel and a guy named Isaiah McKenzie, who went on to the NFL a few years ago.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about Branch. Everybody wanted him, and it feels like Georgia and Ohio State are doing a lot of the same things. Like, they want massive, great recruiting classes. They're going to go to the portal, but they're not Ole Missing it. They're not Texas Teching it. They're very careful with what they're choosing, but they're also shopping at the very finest department stores. And Branch was certainly that. How critical was that signing, and how did they get that locked in to bring him on board and the type of weapon he could be?
And there were so many people going after Zachariah Branch, as you can imagine. Everybody across the country saw what we all saw on film at USC. And it's not only the receiving stuff, it's the kick return stuff. But I think Kirby Smart sells them the vision of, hey, look what I've done in the past with smallish receivers like Isaiah McKenzie, with guys that were jack of all trades like Sony Michel, who could line up in the slot. Think about what you could do in our return game to potentially help out field position and make things a lot easier. We'll put you in Wildcat. We'll run it. Mike Bobo's done a little bit of all that, and I think that's the pitch that you have. Then the second pitch is very simply, I've been to Georgia's campus many times. We're lucky enough they let us do shows while they're having spring practice. Walking around that facility, I can imagine Columbus, Ohio's the same way. You walk in there, it's like the Taj Mahal of college football. I'm not a Georgia fan. We cover Georgia, but I'm not one of those diehard dog fans. I walk in there and I say, look, my kid, he may want to go to another school, but if they offer, there's no way I'm leaving this facility signing on the dotted line.
Talking to John Michaels, host of the Locker Room 680 The Fan in Atlanta. Just for our audience, you do mornings in Atlanta. When you get into fall, what is where does Georgia fall on your pecking order of things we have to talk about on a Monday?
If it's not 1A, it's 1B. And, the Falcons are going to get 1A, just the NFL rules the roost. We're such a transient city, that the NFL tends to be a little bit more king, but it's very close because college football being a transient city. Like, I grew up in Miami. Ohio State fans can scream at me. I'm a diehard Hurricane. You stole my 6th national title. Not that I'm bitter in the least bit, but I moved up here and I never changed teams. You think about, we've got Clemson 90 miles up the road. We've got Tennessee 4 hours, Auburn 2 hours, Alabama 2.5 hours. Florida State's only 3.5 hours. So kind of the epicenter of Southern football. But Georgia's definitely 1B, if not 1A. Like, if the Falcons play like crap and Georgia beats Alabama, it's Georgia first, and then it's everything else. So our station, typically is going to be, we're the flagship of the Braves as well. So if the Braves were in a pennant race, they'd fall in there somewhere. I got a feeling this year, August and September, we're not going to be worried about baseball a whole heck of a lot.
So you bring it. It's really this epicenter of it. That's the thing in my time in Atlanta, which isn't. I haven't lived there like you have, but been there a lot. And the thing that always kind of blew my mind is it was kind of like all of the SEC would congregate at these bars on Saturdays throughout the town, and they would be kind of everywhere. It was just kind of like the epicenter of the SEC. And to that end, as you're at SEC Media Days and you're listening to Coach what Greg Sankey has to say, what's kind of your big takeaway of SEC meetings and media days this week, especially from the Sankey perspective? Because I think, up here we look at it and go, Sankey and Petitti are going to decide where this sport goes in the future.
Yeah, and we talked to Greg Sankey this morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, so I had a chance to sit face-to-face, and I asked him about, the potential of the 16-team playoff expansion, the pushback that he was getting from the Big Ten, and he answered us pretty candidly. He said, we don't want it to be automatic qualifiers where potentially the fourth team isn't worthy of being in. We don't want to just slot that where, even their fourth team, he's on the side of let's earn it and let's get in. So I asked him the follow-up question about the 9-team conference schedule, and he said it's all over the place. There's some coaches want it, some don't. He said it's not just from a playoff perspective. It potentially goes all the way down to that bowl perspective where, you think about it, if you're, I don't know, I'll just throw Kentucky, not to throw them under the bus, but I kind of will. You're Kentucky, you might not want an extra SEC data point because that data point's probably going to be a loss that might kick you out of a bowl game. So he's very mindful, Commissioner Sankey is, about the best wishes of all of the teams in the conference. I got a feeling the two of them are going to have to come to some kind of agreement. It might not be 4-4, 2-2-1 like the Big Ten wants. It might not be a true 5-11 like the other three conferences want. But I can tell you now, I don't think he's going to budge, or the coaches in the conference are going to budge on having 4 automatic qualifiers from other conferences.
I'll get you out of here on this one and greatly appreciate your time. We do a bit here where when the University of Miami wins a relatively big game, we go, is the U back? The U back? So I'll ask you, is the U back?
No. And I'm 50 years old, so I got to see what the U being back is all about. Unfortunately, with that bogus flag call in Tempe, Arizona in 2002, the program died. Now, it is being built back. I'll give you this. Mario Cristobal may not be the number one game day coach in college football. What he's done over his 3+ years there is stack assets. Like you talked about what Ohio State's done, and you guys can go 5-star, 5-star, 4-star. We'll grab this transfer quarterback and we'll go win. Miami didn't quite have that luxury, but you're talking about 3 straight top 10 recruiting classes and 3 straight top 10 portal classes. Beck becomes a bridge. And it was a bridge that they absolutely had to have. Miami opens against Notre Dame the same weekend you guys play Texas. If Miami wins that, the ACC schedule should be a breeze, and I'll see the Canes back in the playoffs. But they're never going to be back until they hoist that gold trophy and Miami wins championship number 6. I just hope in my lifetime I get to see it one more time. My kids are in their 20s. I have a 20-year-old, a 17 and 16-year-old, and they all go, Dad, is Miami ever going to win a championship? And I have to go downstairs and go, let me show you what it used to be like. And the VHS tape doesn't work right now. So.
Well, I can tell you my 11-year-old played the college football game with the Buckeyes and played for the national championship last night, and he called me down. It was against Miami. So maybe this is the year. Magic season for Carson Beck. Who knows, buddy? Appreciate your time. It was great having you on. Thanks for your perspective and your expertise.
Hey, anytime, guys.
All right, there he goes. John Michaels, host of The Locker Room, 680 The Fan in Atlanta on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, predominantly on the Georgia Dogs. You're officially endorsed in 3 things coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
When you speed, you have less time to react. Follow the speed limit to keep other road users safe. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Don't sweat it. Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your air conditioner fast. 1-800-COOLING.
The sun is out and the savings are on. Now at Coghlan Chevrolet. Lease a new 2025 Chevy Trax for $159 a month. A new 2026 Chevy Equinox, only $259 a month. Or a new 2025 Silverado, lease for $359 a month. See our full inventory at CoghlanChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Coghlan has the car for you. 36-month lease with $39.99 due at signing, plus tax, title, and license. 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over. See dealer for details. Ends 8/4/25.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2025 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to sponsor the Fan and 10 TV's Beat the Heat fan drive, benefiting Life Care Alliance. You can help Ohio's most vulnerable residents deal with the extreme heat this summer. How can you help? Purchase new box fans and bring them to the nearest Franklin County Fire Station, or you can buy online and ship fans directly to Life Care Alliance. The collection and distribution of fans is to assist residents who are at risk of heat stroke or heat exhaustion. For more information, go to lifecarealliance.org.
Nationwide Picnic with the Pops presents Journey's music as you've never heard it before. The Columbus Symphony performs Winborn's The Music of Journey. Vocalist Justin Sargent, both a full rock band and orchestra, capture Journey's timeless music. Saturday, July 19th at the Columbus Commons. The Columbus Symphony performs Winborn's The Music of Journey. Get tickets now at picnicwiththepops.com or at the Kappa Ticket Center.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line, $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement, $999.99 and qualifying forwarded. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card below 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Buckeye football training camp is coming. Catch live editions of Morning Juice, T-Bone, and Tybus and Bishop and Friends starting July 31st. They'll be close enough to smell the jock straps. Live on the Fan and YouTube. Yay football.
Colin Mann here for Universal Windows Direct. Are your leaky windows costing you money? Yes, they are. Right now, when you call my guys at Universal Windows Direct, you get payments as low as $99 a month or 12 months with no payments and no interest. Seriously, upgrade your home now and relax until next year. Call now and get a free in-home window and energy assessment. Choose the payment plan that's right for you. 614-502-5220 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
It's the summer event at Germain Honda of Dublin, and Rich has deals that are red hot. Lease the rugged 25 Honda Ridgeline Sport for only $339 a month, or finance with an unbeatable 0.99% APR. Or you can take on any road in the all-new 25 Honda Passport RTL. Lease it now for $449 a month or 3.99% APR. Summer's here. Dive into the savings at Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. See dealer for details.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
When General Sherman marched through Georgia, he was listening to this show.
Use your skills for good, young warrior.
This is Bishop and Friends.
Man, how great is this? I mean, I love this. Oakmont bans Wyndham Clark from the course after what he did in the locker room post the U.S. Open. I hope that means that every time there's a U.S. Open there, he can't go. Good for them.
I saw that there's a way for him to lift the ban.
I don't want it lifted. Don't you think?
He has to pay. So let me see. There was a letter from Oakmont Country Club president John Lynch. Okay. According to the letter, the ban could be lifted for if he pays for damages, it makes a meaningful contribution to a charity selected by the Oakmont Country Club board and undergoes counseling and or anger management therapy.
Okay, good for them.
I love
it. That's a high standard. That's good. I love that. Perfect. Yeah, there should be repercussions for behaving like an infant.
Absolutely.
Good for them.
It's not his first time. He was at the PGA Championship. He threw something against the board.
Yeah, grow up, man. What do you have on the poll today, Reese?
Daily fan poll is golf related. Will you be waking up earlier than you normally do on either Thursday or Friday to watch the Open Championship? 83% of you say no.
I won't be, but the joy of waking up at my normal time and being able to turn it on is second to none. I love that. I love being able to get going right away.
Yeah, I absolutely will be waking up probably about 4 o'clock just because that's the sicko I am, and I want to see awesome. when all those big names tee off. I would set alarms growing up with who was specifically teeing off at that time.
Right.
Just for all you sickos like Jacob, 1:30 it starts coverage on Peacock. Wow. 1:30 in the morning. And then
not
4
that
o'clock,
early.
And then from 4 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. you'll get a USA Network, NBC Sports app, Peacock, and Fubo.
Fantastic. I can't wait. One of my it's one of my favorite sporting events of the year. It is a First Friday. Let's get you officially endorsed.
Bishop and Friends present First Friday, officially endorsed, because everyone deserves 2 Fridays.
You drink for the wrong reasons. My generation, we drink because it's good, because it feels better than unbuttoning your collar, because we deserve it. We drink because it's what men do.
All right. I started doing this last youth lacrosse trip. I just started doing this, and it started to make sense. Here's what ends up happening. You spend all day in some absurd place sweating all day. You get home from it. You eat some food that otherwise you wouldn't eat. You grab a quick shower, and then you want to get ready for bed. But before you do that, you kind of want to convalesce with the other folks and parents who are in the same mix. So you meet in the lobby of these absurd hotels and you have a cocktail, typically in a red Solo cup or some sort of a hotel glass is usually the way that it goes. And so I thought to myself, most people, it'd be really nice to have, an old fashioned, a Manhattan as a nightcap. And so what I did is I took a bottle of my favorite, my favorite spirit, favorite bourbon or whiskey. You can use Whiskey War, certainly one of my all-time favorites. You could use Woodford, all sorts of ones like this. And I poured about 1.5 ounces out. And then what I did is I just mixed an entire bottle old-fashioned. So we did a little bit of simple syrup, did a little bit of a Luxardo cherry syrup in there, give it some black walnut bitters, and I just created an old-fashioned in a bottle. And it was perfect and everything that you need after a full day of youth sports viewing, which truly is a full day. This Saturday, is it Friday? I don't know, it might even start Friday. Saturday in Cincinnati, got our schedule. It's 8 a.m. We play our first game at 8 a.m. NBC plays his last game at 6:45 p.m. all day long. Time for 3 things, kids. Hit it.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina, Central Ohio's largest selection of new and pre-owned boats. Find your next dream boat at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
All right, number 1 for me, I want the guy who voices the Reds ads on our air to voice my life. I don't know who that guy is. I'm sure Reds fans know him well. I love that guy. Like, that's my guy. I like everything he's doing. I want him to voice everything I'm doing. As I go to the car, as I do whatever I do, that's the voice that I want. I like that guy. I like everything about that guy's voice. That's my dude.
We were talking, we'll stay in the Queen City with this, talking about Shamar Stewart and him practicing at Texas A&M's facilities, and there being chatter that he might just return to Texas A&M for his senior season and just skip playing for the Cincinnati Bengals altogether. This from Pro Football Talk. NCAA rules would prohibit a return now that Stewart's been drafted, but many NCAA rules have failed under the weight of the federal antitrust laws. Why shouldn't a player who has never taken an NFL paycheck or signed an NFL contract be prevented from going back to school? Be catastrophic for the Bengals if the 17th overall pick does not play for you.
Yeah.
My first thing, I saw this earlier on Twitter. Assistant GM for Davidson basketball, Steph Curry. He is out here practicing with the team. I absolutely love that. Doing whatever he can to get Davidson basketball back to where it was when he was there.
Where is it now?
They're just hanging around in the A10. Not really. They're competing.
He's their GM.
Yeah,
Steph's worth about $250 million, something like that is his net worth. if he wants to make them good, he can work with Under Armour and he can make them good pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
If he wants to.
There's pictures of him here running with the team. It's incredible.
Number 2 for me, I did play a game of NCAA. I played more than that. Played probably a couple games since the boys got the NCAA football game. Jeremiah Smith he might be too good on the game. His stiff arm is pretty much untackleable. He gets a step on somebody almost always. I did notice when I played tougher competition that sometimes he wouldn't catch everything deep, but he damn near does. And it's a lot of fun to play with him. It really is.
Second thing for me, this is a good job at everybody doing some internet sleuthing as the NHL is going to release their regular season schedule, the full thing, at 1 o'clock today. It looks like the Blue Jackets are going to be opening the 2025-2026 season on October 9th. That is a Thursday at Nashville. Then they'll take on the Wild on October 11th. The home opener at Nationwide Arena will be, looks like, Monday, October 13th against the New Jersey Devils.
Second thing for me, I've been hanging out here after the show doing the updates while Baker's out at 12, 1, and 2. So I've been having to pack my lunch and everything. And yesterday I had a leftover brat from dinner from the night before. And I was looking around and there was no condiments for me to put any sauce or anything like that on my brat.
Just a dry brat?
Yeah.
We had condiments in the fridge.
There was nothing.
Nothing? Huh.
Absolutely nothing. I didn't think to go and look upstairs, though. There might be some stuff up there.
Yeah, that's bougie.
But like nothing in drawers or anything or in the fridge. Just ketchup packets or mustard hanging out. Nothing.
One of my boys does that. Like they'll just go plain hot dog, and I think that they look to me. I think I want to commit them to a sane asylum. Like, what are you doing? Why are you not putting anything on this?
It was okay, but I was definitely missing something.
Yeah, you need a little something there. Enjoy your first Friday. No time for 3. Up against it. We're back tomorrow. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
The Big 9 was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
So we bought an actual shopping mall and put one of the largest Honda dealerships in the world inside of it. Hi, it's Steve Lindsay with Lindsay Honda. So it's big. We house about 150 to 200 cars indoors, lit, all unlocked, ready for you to be able to view and see. A fully tempered climate. Doesn't matter if it's raining outside, 10 below zero, super hot. There's real trees inside, and it's just a casual environment. And if you haven't seen it, it's really a cool story, not about its opulence. It's just a cool story to see what was a dilapidated old mall being reinvigorated into a pillar in the community that everybody benefits from.
This July at Lindsay Honda, our famous Cash for Clunkers is back during our Honda Summer event. Get up to $3,500 minimum for your trade and use it for a down payment, negative equity, or keep the cash. Only at Lindsay Honda.
Hey, it's Timmy Hall. Sometimes dealing with home service contractors can be frustrating. Not like me singing loudly in the shower frustrating. Real life aggravation. They might not return your call. The workmanship is sloppy. Maybe there's just general indifference about helping you. Frustrating sometimes doesn't even describe it. That's why I want to tell you about my new friends at Victor's Home Solutions. Victor's installs the highest quality roofs and windows you can buy, and they'll take those negative experiences you've had and turn them on their head. You'll experience prompt follow-up service, on-time appointments, and their teams are helpful, professional, and courteous. Their service and installation crews always go above and beyond because they know how much your home means to you. They offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install, and their windows come fully equipped with lifetime warranties. So call 1-866-VICTORS or go to victors.com. Get your free 21-point roof and window inspection. Experience their 5-star customer service and see why they have a 4.9 Google rating. Again, that's 1-866-VICTORS or victors.com.
Friday, July 25th is Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair. Visit the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, the Department of Insurance, and other state agency booths. Come learn about mental health resources available to you and to your family. Join us on Friday, July 25th for Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate you snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your significant other will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and of course, it stops your snoring. That's the point. It's quick, it's comfortable, and it's an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea. And he's helped countless patients breathe easier, sleep better, and live healthier, more energized lives. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Schedule your appointment now with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that's sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Bourbon. Cherry Valley Hotel will be hosting a bourbon event called Neat on Saturday, July 26th from 4 to 9 p.m. Explore 15 distilleries, including Woodford, Middle West, and Watershed, along with live music, a cigar bar, classes, and more. For more information, visit cherryvalleyhotel.com.
Did you know dropping your first 25 pounds with a Wicked 180 adds 6 to 8 yards to every shot? Even better scores every 5 pounds after that. Look it up. Freedom from excess fat is measurable. Take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com.